different one. And we're very glad to start this show off today by connecting with our friend Jim Carafano, who's the senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, thank you for being with us and scheduling with us a little bit later here in the week. I want to ask you about the dead Americans in Israel right now. We know that there are Americans missing. They could be hostages. Where is America in relation to this war right now?
Well, I don't think it's really sunken in for a lot of Americans. There's probably 150 hostages, what they estimate. It could be a dozen or more of them could be Americans, and their location and fate is unknown. So the U.S. government has sent special forces into the region. These guys are trained and assets for hostage rescue. So apparently the U.S. is prepared to mount joint rescue operations with the Israelis if they can get good intel for that. We've got one aircraft carrier, and I think they're talking about a second there. That could mean a couple of different things. Obviously, for staging special operation rescue, the carrier group would be useful for that. The other thing is the difference between one and two carriers. Two carriers, really three, but two, you can start to conduct sustained operations in the region. So in other words, you can put stuff in the air and keep it there 24 hours. That might be primarily to deter attacks from the north. Not really sure. I think, honestly, to be honest with you, I think other than the families of the missing Americans, I don't think many of us really have kind of tuned into this or are really asking the bigger questions of what's the end game here? I mean, Hamas knows that Israel's going to counterattack, and that the counterattack is going to be vicious and devastating. So it raises the questions, why did they do that? And I think I have an answer for that. But it really, this could be a much, much bigger thing. And I'm not trying to minimize the deaths of Americans or people being held hostage, but this could be the beginning of a much, much bigger change in the Middle East.
Why? You said you have the answer to that question. Why did Hamas do this?
Well, first of all, Hamas is not an independent actor, and neither is Hezbollah. And so the question is why would Hamas start a military campaign that they know in the end that they can't win? Well, probably the argument is Palestinians die. That just helps us recruit the next generation of martyrs, so they don't really care about that. And they know that, when it all dies down, the international community will be back, and they'll get flooded with humanitarian aid, most of it which will wind up in the hands of Hamas anyway. And so they can rebuild. So, but the question is still, why do you do this? And I think the answer is because Iran wants it. And I think the logical answer for that is that both the war with Hamas and probably pushing Hezbollah and maybe even Syrians to do stuff in the north, look, they're not going to destroy Israel, but they are going to significantly batter Israel and hopefully humiliate the United States. And when you would say, well, why would Iran, what does Iran get out of that? Well, that establishes the perfect conditions for the Iranians to declare a nuclear breakout while Biden's still in office. That would be an incredible humiliation to Biden. It would put his presidency in a very difficult place. How do you deal with this? Well, you've got elections coming on. It would hand the next president of the United States, if it's Biden or somebody else, the fait accompli to start your president election with a new nuclear power in the Middle East. That's a logical answer as to why this, why now. And if we're being honest about this, I mean, this is like Lucy with the football. I mean, we set ourselves up for this. We just did this at a very vulnerable time for the president, walking into a national election, being already politically weak, to essentially to try to buy off your enemies and then hope that they don't turn on you and take massive advantage of you. That's just statecraft malfeasance.
Jim Carafano with us right now with the Heritage Foundation, a foreign policy expert and go-to resource for us here on the Annie Frey Show. Is this ignorance or arrogance on behalf of the Biden administration to get us to the point and the place where we are right now?
Well, so I can give you a couple of answers. One is the reflexively falling back into Obama policies and just thinking that, this is manna from heaven. This is what we do. The other is just unbelievable naivete to think that this is a strategy might work. And honestly, the third one is look, we know this administration is riddled with fellow travelers, people that have actually more interest in promoting Iranian interests than American interests. And so which one is it? Maybe it's a combination of all three. I don't know. But clearly it was a policy that was obviously deeply flawed from the start, that a lot of people actually on both sides, Republican and Democrats, had really warned the administration about. And we really did set up ourselves up for a fall. What's exacerbated this, of course, is the war in Ukraine, because that brings the Russians in, because the Russians have every interest in seeing the West divided and distracted. So they're all down for coups in Africa, wars in the Middle East, because all this, potentially the Russians hope, distracts and divides people from supporting Ukraine. And of course, the Chinese are all in for this because they just sit on their hands. And what they're hoping is America fails, because then what happens is they assume everybody in the region will try to hedge. And one of the hedges will be to make closer relations with China.
Man, it's like the new slogan for the United States, United We Stand. It's now divided and distracted. There's really not a better way to explain the status of our country right now. We're speaking with Jim Carafano with the Heritage Foundation. I think that a lot of people who are certainly not geography experts, historical experts, we learned what we learned in school. We retain a bit of it. And there's a lot of people leaning into what we don't know to influence how we feel about this. Israel is certainly a historical ally of ours. It's an emotional ally of ours, but it's very much so a strategic, geographical ally of the United States. Explain to me the importance of that relationship, the United States and Israel.
The reality is the United States is a global power with global interests and global responsibilities. And it's kind of like the ATM. You could go on vacation and you run out of money. You could get in your car or get in an airplane, fly back to the United States, go to your bank, get more money, and then go back on vacation. Or you could just go to the nearest ATM, right? So what makes the United States an effective global power is that in all the critical parts of the world, particularly in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, we have really an indispensable, dependable ally that is really our anchor to the region, that we can always partner with, always depend on, and always rely on as a platform for protecting our interests. In Europe, it's been the United Kingdom since 1914, 1918. In Asia, it's really Japan, and in the Middle East, it's Israel. So Israel didn't start out as the indispensable ally. I mean, really, our sympathies with Israel were for, like you said, kind of emotional reunion, fairness, the Holocaust. But by the 1960s, particularly as the Russians got much more aggressive in the Middle East, Israel became the only partner we could ever always depend on. And so it has morphed into, really for many, many decades now, it's the country that we simply can't do without. And it is, in many ways, a mini arsenal for democracy. It is a major cyber and security partner with actually many of the countries that are our friends and allies. It is the most effective and robust military in the region. And so, yeah, it is. If the United States wants to be a force for stability in the Middle East, doing it without Israel is like, cutting your arm off. And people could say, well, we don't need the Middle East. We'll just have our own oil and gas and ignore them. But look, oil and gas are global commodities. So even if the United States has all the oil and gas in the world we need, other parts of the world that are our friends and allies don't. And shutting that will impact them and come back and impact our economy. Plus, the Middle East is not just about oil. It's called the middle for a reason. It's in the middle of global financial networks. It's in the middle of global migration networks. And it's in the middle of global air networks. It's in the middle of the global connectivity on maritime. And so the Middle East actually connects the entire world together. And if it blows up, don't think it doesn't come back and impact on us. And then finally, don't forget, Islamist extremism started in the Middle East. And that the Yahoo that started that was the guy that planned 9/11. And so the rippling effect of Islamist extremism doesn't stay in the Middle East. So those are all reasons where, look, the United States is not a global world policeman. We're not going to solve the problems in the Middle East. We're not going to turn it into the land of milk and honey. We're not going to be the policeman of the region. But if we don't work with allies like Israel to protect our interests there, we are, you could say shooting yourself in your own foot, but other people would actually shoot us in our foot.
We're speaking with Jim Carafano right now with the Heritage Foundation. I've heard a lot of analogies being drawn to previous times in history. And I always kind of want to remind people who are talking about this that as somebody who has 4 kids, I've got a mortgage, I've got a life and a career. I'm 39. I was born in 84, so I don't remember the hostage situation from the 70s.
Right.
I learned about it. World War II, leading into that, what countries were doing, maneuvers that were being made. Is there any historical deja vu for you in the scenario we're in right now?
I always worry about that, and I'm sorry I got to run because I got another interview. But you can't miss the forest for the trees here. The problem that we have to deal with, Israel will deal with Hamas. The problem that we have to come to grips with is Iran, and right now we don't have a policy to do that. Hey, sorry, I got to run.
That's fine. Jim Carafano, thank you for your time today. We're grateful we were able to schedule a little bit later in the week because he was otherwise occupied earlier on Tuesday when we normally speak with him. He is the senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Really interesting to hear from him. It's once again a bit bleak, and I could talk to him for hours about this because the implications of what's going on the southern border, that's something we talk about with Jim Carafano on a weekly basis. The idea that there are people coming in really unchecked, untracked, and they are here. Do you see how they crossed through that fence in Israel? There was a wall. Do you see what they did to penetrate into Israel to exact that sort of violence that they carried out last weekend? We don't even have that to stop them. We don't even know that they're penetrating our country when they do. And then we sit and wait. Thank you, Jim Carafano, for the time today. It's good to talk to him. At JJ Carafano on Twitter if you want to go check him out there. When we come back, Will Scharf is going to join us in studio. I have kind of a host of questions to ask Will Scharf. He is very well-versed in the idea of law issues. And boy, we still have a pile of those in front of us right now. He is the former policy director at the Missouri Governor's Office, former federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of Missouri. He's also a candidate for Missouri Attorney General. We'll talk to Will Scharf. Your comments also in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat while he's in here. I'll be checking those as well. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Who do you support for Speaker of the House? Only Representative Scalise? Only Representative Jordan? Neither of them or either of them? Let us know what you think at the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Will Scharf in studio when we return.
Within the sound of silence, in restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
TheDiamondShop.net. It's where you can go online right now and see some of the beautiful pieces that are available there in Clayton. The Diamond Shop's been serving St. Louis families from both sides of the river, let's be honest. Certainly they have serviced the Annie Frey family. Very grateful when that opportunity presents itself. They are there to make sure that your jewelry needs are met. This can be something really big in your life. Like you remember when you go to buy that ring. And if you're on the younger end of the spectrum, that's a very intimidating thing. If you're on the experienced end of the spectrum, I'll say it that way, then you kind of know the process of buying jewelry. Maybe you've done it before. Maybe the cost isn't as huge of an incurrence for yourself. Diamond Shop services all of those people. And they want to make sure that your first purchase at the Diamond Shop will lead to future ones and where you will tell your friends and your family about the great experience you had there. That's how you stay in business since 1910 in St. Louis. All October long, 50% off all diamond studs. This is one of the best gifts you can give a woman who has her ears pierced. Diamond studs, so beautiful. And all month long is their trade-in and trade-up event. Diamond studs purchased at the Diamond Shop are eligible for the trade-up event. Just spend $1 more and your entire purchase of your diamond studs is credited towards your new purchase when you trade them in. Yay! Go get some of these. They have 6 months same as cash as well. So if you're looking for a Christmas present or a holiday present, get in the Diamond Shop today. Find them online at thediamondshop.net.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about lakeside renovation and design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Shows that make a difference. Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon and Dana Lash, Heidi Harris, Wiggins America. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Biggest piano sale of the year is being held at the Muni Opera October 12th through the 15th. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year, Lacefield Music loans Yamaha pianos to the Muni for use in the rehearsal rooms and their performances. The Muni is the largest and oldest outdoor musical theater in America, and Lacefield Music is proud to support the Muni for their piano needs. Both floors of the entire Muni rehearsal building will be filled with a huge selection of pianos. In addition to all the loaned Yamaha pianos, a huge selection of new Yamaha Grands, Uprights, Clavinovas, pre-owned, Steinway, Kawai, Roland, Casio, Xylers, and Baldwin will all be offered at rock bottom prices. Sale is by appointment only Thursday through Saturday. Sunday is open to the public. October 12th through the 15th, call 314-860-2712 for an appointment, or for more info, go to muni.org/piano sale. That's muni.org/piano sale.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I was looking for a sound cut to play here, and there's a subject on my show sheet that's right here. And the subject is, do we agree with the view? And I just, in my mind, said, nope, and I didn't even read what the cuts were. That's how that went. Maybe I'll dabble in those later, but not right now, because we have Will Scharf in studio with us once again. He is a former federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of Missouri. He is a candidate for Missouri Attorney General and a great source of information, maybe some of the best threads on X, which I just said, that's maybe the first time I didn't say Twitter first.
Yeah,
X.
I don't know how I feel about the whole X thing, but I guess that's the world we're living in now. So,
you know, I want to ask you about that first before we start talking. I'm going to ask Will Scharf here about have you seen the headlines out there about how they dropped the some gun charges against Hunter Biden? We'll get some clarification on that in a second. But when it comes to Twitter, let's talk pre-Elon Musk Twitter and compare it to where we are right now. There's some wonky things about X. I think it's stupid that he changed the name. But looking at what's going on in Israel, it magnifies and at the same time simplifies what we need to focus on in our daily life. But the exchanging of ideas and information and knowledge, how would this, I mean, our First Amendment was under a serious amount of attack under the previous version of Twitter.
yeah, look, in April of 2020, I was working with guys like Tom Cotton to get the word out about the lab leak theory, the fact that COVID clearly, blatantly came from this Chinese bioweapons lab in Wuhan, China. And all of us were getting shadow banned and shut down by the previous administration at Twitter. Fortunately, under Elon, I think there's just much more of a commitment to free speech and much more of a commitment to letting people say controversial things. I think on net, that's really good for the country. I think it's really good for our politics. I mean, they've had some administrative issues there since he took over, but overall, I think it's just a much better site with much more vigorous debate ever since he came rolling in.
You know, and I think that it's important to shine the spotlight on the understanding that with free speech comes a lot of baggage, but you can't have it one way or the other. You can't have you can't say people are going to speak freely and say what they feel and you know, be emotional about things and put their thoughts out and say, you know, the COVID was leaked from a Wuhan lab. No, it wasn't. And I mean, like, then people start going into all sorts of crazy talk on either side of the aisle. You have to have those conversations so we can get to the truth. And I think that one of the main arguments against the way Elon Musk is policing or maybe not policing X is that it hurts people's feelings to see things that are maybe inherently wrong that we can all see and be like, that is wrong. They don't want that even to exist where we can say that is wrong. They just want to cancel it.
Yeah, look, you know, I think, as you know, I'm an American Jew. I'm proud of being Jewish. I have a lot of family in Israel. The last couple days have been really difficult. I've seen people say on Twitter just horrific things, justifying Hamas's murderous rampage, justifying the killing of, you know, babies and women, and just all the horrific acts we've seen. But I wouldn't want to live in a world where voices like that are shut down. I think it's beneficial for all of us to see what we're up against as conservatives, to see just how radical the modern left is. So I think censorship is never really the answer. I think that the right way to combat bad speech is good speech. And I think, fortunately, under Elon, Twitter's become a place with just much more vigorous debate where, you know, both sides get to air their views out, or all sides get to air their views out. And I'm confident that the people of America, the people of the world can sort good views from bad views better than some bureaucrat or some administrator sitting in Silicon Valley. So on net, I think it's just been a really great development for our politics here.
Will Scharf in studio with us right now. He is a former federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of Missouri. He's a candidate for Missouri Attorney General. I did not know you were Jewish, but now I do, and so do our listeners. I want to give you the opportunity to say anything that you want to say about what took place last weekend, what is taking place right now. Floor is yours.
It's really tough. This was the most Jews killed in a single day since the Holocaust. It's the greatest tragedy in the history of the state of Israel. Obviously, in addition to the Israeli dead, there are a large number of American citizens who are dead. There are Americans currently being held hostage in what I'm sure are the worst conditions imaginable in Gaza. I think it really brings home to all of us that there's true evil in the world, that there are people in this world who have a worldview that's just totally antithetical to what we believe in as Americans. And I'm hopeful that in the coming days, Israel is finally going to stamp out this terrible terrorist group, Hamas. The most disappointing thing to me, I'll say, has been the response of the American left. When you have people like our Congresswoman, Cori Bush, essentially taking the side of Hamas after they went out and killed hundreds or thousands of innocent civilians. There was a demonstration in support of Hamas in Springfield, Missouri 2 days ago. When the left tells you what they are and what they believe in, I think it's incumbent on all of us to listen to them. And if they're going to take the side of radical Islamic terrorist groups like Hamas over people who just want to live in peace and freedom, I think that really tells you a lot about where the modern left is. I mean, this isn't yesterday's Democratic Party. This isn't the party of, Dick Gephardt and the Carnahans anymore. This is something much different. And I think it's incumbent on all of us as conservatives to call it out when we see it and to fight like hell to keep them out of power.
Do you think that we have the capacity right now, American culture, political society, do we have the capacity right now? Because this is gonna cause some people, and I've seen it happen, to cross some what would be standard political lines about what you're willing to say, what you're willing to denounce. Kind of going back to what I said before, does this simplify things a little bit more because the stakes are so high for Americans?
Yeah, I think that we've seen the face of true evil, the same way that we saw the face of true evil on 9/11 and with ISIS, the same way that we've seen, terrorist atrocities in the last couple decades. I think these attacks really brought home to people that there is evil in this world. And whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, it shouldn't be complicated to see which side here is evil and which side here is on the right side. I've been heartened. We've been all over the state of Missouri in the last few days, mid-Missouri, down in southwest Missouri, and just the number of people who have come up to me who have said, just that they're with me, that, their thoughts and prayers are with the people of Israel and with, particularly the American Jewish community. We all have family over there. A lot of us have, friends who are implicated. I have two cousins who have been called up to the reserves of the Israeli Defense Forces now. These are really, really difficult times, but I think a vast majority of Americans are on the right side here. I just hope that as in the days ahead, the political resolve we've seen in Washington, D.C. to let the Israelis go in and take care of these just evil terrorists, I hope that resolve continues. And I think it should be a bipartisan issue. I hope it's a bipartisan issue.
Yeah, it's got to be simple, folks. We're 390 days from the actual election day, but of course there'll be a primary in which you're running for the Attorney General position for the state of Missouri. And I think that there's a part of me as a host, I feel a responsibility to cover the news every day, but I'm always here to give my reaction to it, my thoughts and opinions on it. And sometimes when I'm going in to talk about politics, it feels like this isn't the time for that. But at the same time, I can make a long argument and people can go back to listen to the beginning of the show and listen to Jim Carafano say that the last election has greatly contributed to this moment in time. The next election will contribute to the next moment in time. All of these lawsuits that we see surrounding Donald Trump as a candidate, Hunter Biden, and the questions that are existing that lead us to think that Joe Biden was very much so involved in what Hunter Biden was doing. First, let me ask you, are those still important things to be talking about right now?
Yeah, you know, I think the failures of the Biden administration are profound. Carafano probably said it better than I can. But I think you have to place at least some blame for these attacks on the failures of American deterrence abroad since Joe Biden took office. I mean, the fact that, his approach to Iran has just been shipping them billions of dollars. It's in stark contrast to President Trump's approach to Iran, which is when they were, funding terrorism throughout the Middle East. He ordered the drone strike that killed Qasem Soleimani, their number one general, in a highly public way and in a way that demonstrated American resolve. I think when you look at what the Biden administration has done, weaponizing law enforcement to go after their political opponents, most notably President Trump, but also including, parents who showed up to school board meetings, Catholics who protested outside abortion clinics. I mean, we're living in really, really difficult political times. And I think the Biden administration's actions on law enforcement, essentially undermining the rule of law and taking us, as President Trump said, closer to being a banana republic. I think we should all be deeply concerned about the government we've gotten in the last couple of years. And I pray to God that by the time I'm elected Attorney General, Joe Biden's no longer in the White House.
So I wanted to read for you a tweet that I have been sent many times. Yes, this is after we clarify this, you don't need to send me this tweet anymore, folks. It has to do with Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and people are not liking the fact that it appears as though gun charges have been dropped against Hunter. Here's what the tweet says, and I'm going to let you respond to this. It says, happening now. A judge has signed off on the prosecution's request to drop the gun charge against Hunter Biden. The charge was related to him breaking federal gun laws while abusing drugs and lying on his application. The prosecution asked the judge to drop it. The same prosecution that whistleblowers said was protecting Hunter Biden. They did this quietly while the news is covering Israel. This is a huge miscarriage of justice. When will the Bidens be held accountable?
So what happened here, your listeners probably remember last July, this federal prosecutor, David Weiss, entered into a crooked deal with Hunter Biden and his team. The goal there was allowing Hunter to plead to minor misdemeanor charges, tax offenses, and in return, they were going to offer him very broad immunity from prosecution over his foreign influence peddling, his failure to register as a foreign agent, all of the rest of the corruption that we've seen from the Biden family. One of the charges in that original deal was a gun charge, was a charge that claimed that Hunter Biden had unlawfully possessed a firearm while using illegal drugs. Now, Hunter's essentially admitted to that in his autobiography. After that deal fell apart in open court because this federal judge, Mary Ellen Noreika, wasn't willing to sign off on this corrupt bargain, David Weiss went out and filed a new indictment against Hunter containing this gun charge. So what happened in court today was they dropped the original charge that was part of this corrupt deal. But there are still gun charges pending against Hunter Biden. That's an important distinction to make, that there is a new case that's been filed against him. It's a 3-count federal indictment charging him with the same conduct. So I don't know what was behind the decision to drop the original charge today. My guess is that it's, more bookkeeping than anything else. But I think it's really important for all of your listeners, for the American people, to pay attention to what's going on in court. That we saw how the Biden Department of Justice was trying to give both Hunter and Joe and the big guy a free pass on all of this. In the days and months ahead, there are going to be more court filings. There should be more cases brought. And if at the end of the day, the only thing Hunter is prosecuted for is this federal gun charge, that's an incredible miscarriage of justice that should outrage all Americans who care about the rule of law and all Americans who are outraged by the Biden family's long course of blatantly criminal conduct in terms of this foreign influence peddling operation that they ran for, the better part of a decade.
To quote the Democrat Party as a whole, no one is above the law. I keep hearing this. I need you to mean it a little bit more.
Annie, I'll say it. I think I've said it on your show before. Speaking as a former federal prosecutor, with all the information that's come to light, I think I could go to any federal grand jury in the country today and get them to return an indictment against Joe Biden for conspiracy to commit bribery, for conspiracy to commit federal honest services fraud. I mean, the allegations against the Biden family, I believe it's the greatest scandal in American political history. And we need to scrutinize these people. We know the Biden Department of Justice is going to try to give them a free pass. We know that they're going to try to brush this under the rug. The only way we stop that from happening is keeping our attention on this issue, keeping up the drumbeat, and making sure the American people really know what's going on here.
Will you come back on the show and make that case to the American people?
I am happy to come back on the show anytime you'll have me, Amy.
I will try to find you a grand jury, but if that, I will give you the court of public opinion.
I appreciate it. I resigned my commission to run for office and been doing some interesting legal work since then. There are a lot of good people, in law enforcement, a lot of good prosecutors around the country. But what Merrick Garland has done to the Department of Justice, essentially turning it into a politicized, weaponized wing of the Democrat Party, I think should outrage all Americans. It's unprecedented in American history. Calling it Nixonian, I think, would do a disservice to Richard Nixon. I mean, we are living in strange times, and I think the only way we get things back to the way they should be is by paying attention and ultimately by voting these guys out of office in 2024.
Will Scharf in studio, just to clarify so everybody understands, Hunter Biden is still facing gun charges.
Hunter Biden is still facing gun charges. The original case was dropped, but there is a new case. But the important question is what additional charges are going to be brought. If at the end of the day, the only thing Hunter is prosecuted for are these gun issues, then that says a lot about how the Merrick Garland Justice Department is covering up for the Biden family.
Yeah. Well, Will Scharf, we're grateful for you, and I'm going to get Brad to get you back in here very quickly because I want you to make that case to the Annie Frey Show audience right here in our studio. Thanks for being in here. We appreciate you.
Always great to be here. Thanks so much.
Will Scharf, who is a former federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of Missouri, and one of our friends here on the Annie Frey Show. He's a candidate for Missouri Attorney General. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
When I see you again.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember,
diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
AirComfortService.com. If you are looking to get that furnace in good working order, sometimes your furnace is working fine, but your house isn't heating the way it's supposed to. 9 out of 10 homes under insulated. Is yours? Air Comfort Service can help you solve this problem, and maybe the insulation investment would be better than trying to get a new furnace put in or trying to pay to, tweak the furnace system. When you have an under-insulated house, all of the energy you're paying to heat and paying to cool seeps out of your house before you can get into your comfort zone, and that is certainly a problem. Air Comfort Service can solve this problem for you. They are Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation. They can assess your needs, and they can help you. Call them at 314-513-0091 and schedule an appointment today. Mention the Annie Frey Show when you give them a call. They've been in my home several times to replace my heater, my air conditioner, my water heater. They did an AeroSeal duct sealing. They put in a whole house humidifier. They're fantastic, and the Annie Frey family is in our comfort zone all of the time thanks to Air Comfort Service. You can trust them in your home as well. 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
You step out of the shower smelling fresh, but for how long? Body odor starts forming immediately, especially if you use soap. And your only defense is the 2 inches of deodorant you applied to your armpits. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of Lumi Whole Body Deodorant. It's so easy to use, I'm going to talk you through it on the radio. Just a pea-sized amount of our invisible cream rubbed into the nooks and crannies like a lotion with fingertips. Or pick a stick for pits and other flat surfaces like thigh folds and underboob. Glides on smooth for a touchless application. Both are clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours on pits, privates, and beyond. So you're going to smell better naked everywhere. It's that powerful.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 555 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 555. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 555.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
The poll today is about the U.S. House. Who do you support for Speaker? And there's a few choices here. Either of them or neither of them, or do you support just Jordan or just Scalise? Let us know in the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. The time right now, 12:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Are we one of your top presets?
You were giving off that vibe, so if you want to take it to that level.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Why drink the water from my hand? Contagious as you think I am. Just took my son to a drug domain. You can't run it over again.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're going to go straight right now to what's going on in the White House. John Kirby, who is the assistant to the Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs, I believe that's his title, according to defense.gov, is speaking right now, and he's being asked about the $6 billion. Let's listen in.
Thank you, John. What is the status of the $6 billion that Iran was set to have access to?
It's still sitting in the Qatari bank, all of it, every dime of it.
Is there an agreement now to, in essence, withhold it from Iran? Should they come asking for it?
None of that money has been spent, and I have no updates to provide today.
Was the decision to reach a quiet understanding with Qatar about whether or not it would be accessed by Iran made because of the attack or political pressure in recent days?
I'm not going to talk about diplomatic conversations one way or another, Ed. What I can tell you is that every single dime of that money is still sitting in the Qatari bank. Not one dime of it has been spent. I'd also remind, because this, I know in certain audiences, inconvenient facts are easy to forget. The regime was never going to see a dime of that money. And this account, although it's moved from South Korea to Qatar, was set up by the previous administration for this exact purpose. In fact, I think it was back in 2018, the former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, actually talked in quite some detail about how this money in these accounts could only be used for humanitarian purposes and that there was going to be oversight. We've done nothing different. It is the same process. All we've done is move that funds from South Korea, where for some technical reasons it wasn't accessible, to Qatar, where it is more accessible. All that said, none of it has been accessed by the by Iran at all. And even if they had accessed it, it wouldn't go to the regime. It would go to approved vendors that we approved to go buy food, medicine, and medical equipment, agricultural products, and ship it into Iran directly to the benefit of the Iranian people.
And let me ask you one other. Has the United States independently verified the photos released by the Israeli Prime Minister's Twitter account today showing the images of dead children?
I don't think we're going to be in the business of having to validate or approve those images. Are coming from the Prime Minister of Israel, and we have absolutely no reason to doubt their authenticity.
Next question, please.
To follow up on these questions about the $6 billion, I understand Iran hasn't accessed any of this yet. It's intended for humanitarian purposes, but there have been reports of this quiet agreement. So, yes or no, if Iran wanted to access this today, could they?
I'm not going to speculate one way or another here about future transactions. What I can tell you is none of it has been accessed, and we are watching every dime, as you would expect we would. We're watching it very, very closely.
So you're not going to still tap into it.
I'm not in a position to speak about these press reports. I'm telling you, nothing's been accessed, and we have oversight. We have oversight over what can be accessed and for what purposes.
And on another topic, the president said yesterday that he told Netanyahu that it's important, even with all of the emotion and anger and frustration, that they operate by the rules of war. Why does the president feel the need to underscore this point?
The president feels strongly about the law of armed conflict and the proper respect for innocent life anywhere in the world, no matter where it is. And that certainly includes, maybe even especially includes our own military operations.
But is the president worried that Israel may have already violated the rules of war, or that they might going forward?
It's just part of the conversations that we've been having with our Israeli counterparts about the prosecution of these military operations. The Palestinian people are likewise innocent civilians. They didn't ask Hamas to come in and do this, and I think it's always on the president's mind, the protection of civilian life.
And just one last quick thing. I'm wondering what you made of the former president last night, calling the Israeli defense minister a jerk, saying that Hezbollah was really very smart.
I'm not going to comment about comments on the campaign trail. That's well beyond the pale for me.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Kirby, can you give us an update on the intelligence about Iran's role in this? Anything changing in terms of what you're seeing, what the U.S. assesses to be Iran's role?
No, I don't have any updates for you. We're still looking into this, but again, no direct evidence that Iran was a participant in these attacks in any way. But again, we're still monitoring it. We're still looking at it. And if I can go back, Mary, I'm not going to comment. I would just add that we take seriously our bilateral relationship with Israel. We don't get to decide, obviously, who their cabinet officials are. That wouldn't be our business. But we have strong relationships with them, and it's important now that those relationships continue to improve and grow, particularly in this time of crisis. And so we're focused on getting things done and supporting Israel. That's where our heads are.
Joey.
Yeah, thanks, Karine. Admiral, speaking of Iran, what did President Biden mean yesterday in his remarks when he said he, quote, made it clear to Iranians, be careful? What was that referring to?
It refers precisely to his comments the day before about not wanting to see any third party, be it a terrorist group or a nation state, that might have hostile feelings towards Israel, that thinking that this might be a good time to take advantage of that and to widen and expand the conflict. Very much in keeping with what he said the day before.
Well, was that message communicated to Iran, or?
The President of the United States said it publicly. I think that's pretty good communication.
So John Kirby speaking from the White House podium there, answering questions. We are always one eye and one ear on what is developing in regards to the conflict in Israel and Gaza Strip, and we will continue to bring that information to you as it happens. Wiggins America 145?
Yeah, that's completely fine.
All right.
I mean, news is more important. If we need a breather, that's fine.
But we will have the breathers.
Yeah.
We've got them on deck, but like I said, of the utmost respect to this moment in time. But when you're here, we're going to go through the normal flow of the Annie Frey show. We are just not going to leave you without the information at hand. You want to tease it?
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff that Americans are doing that thinks nobody else is doing, but we all do it.
In private.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, and Tyrus and Senator Eric Schmitt
Right.
in the 1 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. I have many female clients and widows that don't fully understand their investment choices. Would you like a retirement review and a second opinion on your current retirement plan? Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying, and would you like to learn how you can avoid those fees? Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees for the past 37 years. Let our family help your family. So go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Really can't stress enough how much that sleep impacts your overall health. This is Ryan Wiggins. I'm talking about Fountains Family Dentistry. You've heard me talking about this issue before, that sleep medicine is the way to go. And I'll say, go to Fountains Family Dentistry, click on the sleep medicine tab, but then don't let it deceive you because it's not actually medicine. That's what's so great about it. It's just a retainer that you wear at night that they fit to your mouth. You barely even notice you're wearing it. After the first night, you're going to go, oh, I'm wearing something. The second night, you go, I forgot I'm even wearing something because you're sleeping so much better. I've said before, I woke up, first time I ever wore it, at about 4:30 in the morning and went, oh my gosh, is it 7? Is it 7:30? Yeah, I feel great. You're going to feel that if you have sleep apnea, which so many people do of any age and don't even know they have it. So talk to them. They'll walk you through the process, which is really not that difficult at all, but you got to know where to start. And here's where you start. Fountains Family Dentistry, fountains.familydentistry.com.
John Michael Montgomery. Live. The multiple Grammy, CMA, and ACM award winner. John Michael Montgomery with McBride and the Ride. Friday, October 20th at the Family Arena. Reserved seats are on sale now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. John Michael Montgomery, live in concert.
Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken. 20, the tour. Reunited 2 decades after their storied run on American Idol. Ruben and Clay. Friday, October 27th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. Ruben Studdard and Clay Aiken.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sad news from the White House. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
We can now update the number of Americans that we know have been killed to 27.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says 14 Americans are unaccounted for. That's down from 17. Also reiterating that everything possible is being done to get hostages home, but that there are no plans to put American troops on the ground in combat. Amid continued concern about Iran backing terrorists, Kirby is not confirming reports about an agreement between the U.S. and Qatar for recently unfrozen Iranian money to be off limits for now.
I'm not going to speculate one way or another here about future transactions. What I can tell you is none of it has been accessed, and we are watching every dime, as you would expect we would. We're watching it very, very closely.
The money intended for humanitarian purposes. Earlier, Secretary of State Blinken said the U.S. retains the right to freeze it again. The White House says President Biden met with his national security team today as fighting between Israel and Hamas continues, discussing safeguards in the U.S. for Jewish, Arab, and Muslim communities. Hamas has called for worldwide protests in support of Palestinians. The Mideast conflict coming up on the campaign trail.
We see the leadership that's lacking. We need leadership on the economy. We need leadership on the border. We need leadership on crime. And, of course, we need leadership internationally.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at the New Hampshire State House filing for the state's Republican primary. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum filing earlier today. More money for Social Security checks, but not nearly as much more as inflation cools.
The cost of living increase for Social Security recipients next year will be 3.2%. It's significantly smaller than the 8.7% increase this year that was to cover high inflation. The cost of living increase, or COLA, takes effect in January.
Fox's Jenny Cosola. America is listening to Fox News.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 lifeguard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies, windy and warm going through the afternoon. Might be a stray shower. Really tough to find. 79, 80 for the high. Clouds move in tonight. It's windy and very mild, 62. Then on Friday, periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms, especially Friday afternoon into early Friday evening. Windy and 75 degrees. Windy and chilly over the weekend, only 58 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Looking to build a home on the Illinois side of the river, or have you been looking for a home and it's just not out there yet? You check the MLS every single day and you just haven't found the house to make your home. I want you to go to cajonesinc.com. That's cajonesinc.com. Your house is on that website. Go look at some of the beautiful new build inventory that they have for sale right now, or play around with the interactive design tool that exists there so you can just kind of aesthetically, digitally build the house right there in front of your own eyes that you want to have C.A. Jones build for you in a beautiful community throughout the Illinois side of the river. They provide a 10-year builder limited warranty, including a lifetime waterproof basement warranty. That's fantastic. And they are an energy certified home builder, and they offer the top energy efficiency in homes in the Metro East, which will save you thousands annually. Reach out to C.A. Jones Inc. for your home, whether you're looking for a new build that's already out there waiting for you to scoop it up, or a home build of your customized own. cajonesinc.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
All this week, the Mark Cox Morning Show is giving away tickets to see Kiss every day. It's the End of the Road Tour, Wednesday, October 25th at Enterprise Center. Between 5 and 9 on the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and if invasive plants and trees have overtaken your pasture, roads, trails, or dams, then you need Missouri Brush Control. Their special forestry mulching equipment helps landowners reclaim their property. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. To learn more, visit MissouriBrushControl.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on.
ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Seeing now is such an incompetent president. He has screwed this country up so many different ways. We're an unprepared military, gas prices. We go to war, gas prices will easily be $10 a gallon. There'll be shortages of things because he has screwed us in the end. But you look at this, we're a nation that is unprepared for war for the first time in my lifetime. We are sitting back the way we were maybe right before World War I. That's not a good place to be.
It's more bleakness for you on the Annie Frey Show. I'm sorry. I can't keep you from it. Glenn Beck there. I got to be honest. I mean, I've been with the station long enough that I was here when Glenn Beck was on the air. We brought Glenn Beck to St. Louis with Sarah Palin. And you didn't go to that, did you? No, you weren't there? We went to, you can talk. You're just like Rush Limbaugh talking to.
I'm sitting here looking for my button so I can turn my mic on.
That is like.
It's been a day.
That you have one basic job. Push button, turn on mic. You're doing fine. Rush Limbaugh talking to Snerdley, who never really would respond on the air. As a Rush baby, leave me alone. Thank you to all the people who are listening to me now, who have found this show in the wake of Rush's passing. We had Glenn Beck and Sarah Palin here in October. I want to say it was October 9th or 10th. Whatever day it was, and I could find this out very simply. It was Game 5 against the Phillies. Halladay, Carpenter. Game is going on during the Glenn Beck speech, and we were at
I was definitely not
the
at
Family
that.
Arena. And it's very compelling. It was a very compelling moment in in the show. And Glenn Beck, it's kind of ironic that I think he was talking about like how we were going to go for like what would that have been? 10? Was that 2010? When was the Halladay game? Halladay and Carpenter game 5 was
I remember Rafael Furcal led off with a triple.
2011? It was 2011?
Yep.
Oh, what a postseason. Let's just live there for a minute. We're sitting in the Family Arena, and he's talking about like how dangerous it could be going into that makes sense. Going into the 2012 election. How important it is that we have competent leaders. If we don't, what could possibly happen? You know, see 2023. This is a flash forward. Very quiet. He's talking he's leading into talking about basically Armageddon. And all of a sudden the crowd goes, and it was because everybody was on their phone watching the Cardinals game. and I don't remember what specifically happened in that moment. If there was a strikeout, was there a home run or something? Wasn't it like a 1-0, 2-0 game?
Yeah, it was a 1-0 game on a triple in the first inning by Rafael Furcal.
And that was it.
Yeah, there was the play. That was the play, the game where Carpenter dove.
On the first base. That was it.
Yeah. When he dove across first base.
He's your ace pitcher, and he's diving towards first. You're like, don't hurt your hand. Oh, my gosh, make me out. It's the playoffs. You can hurt your hand now. We've gotten you this far. And the crowd gasped, and Glenn Beck stopped in his tracks, and he braced himself because the audible nature of this Family Arena in St. Charles, but St. Louis, let's be real about it, still paying attention. He kind of looked around, and someone was like, Cardinals. He's like, yes, the Cardinals. I didn't watch that game.
Oh, man. I remember.
I was doing it on my phone.
I remember I sat down because that's where I was at the time. I was watching the game. I wasn't over there, but I sat down. I watched that. Furcal tripled and scored in the first inning, and I said to myself, surely the game will not end 1-0. And it did, and it was the pitcher's duel of a century. The other thing I won't forget, so there was the triple by Furcal and the sac fly that brought him home, the play at first by Carpenter, and then the last thing that I remember is, what is his name? Ryan Howard hurt his Achilles tendon on the last out of the game.
St. Louis boy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Ryan Howard to come to St. Louis so bad, but he was a first baseman.
Yeah.
We had one. You might have heard of him.
He was kind of good.
Yeah, that was quite something. Edward on our YouTube chat said, I remember when Glenn Beck was on 97.1 and during the 2016 primary spent all of his shows bashing Trump. Wonder what changed. Edward, Glenn Beck is not the only person who had a different opinion about Donald Trump in 2016. Hi, my name is Annie Frey. I'm one of them.
I remember where I was on Trump in 2016. I was like, okay. I mean, if this is who we got, this is who we got. And I viewed Donald Trump as the biggest rock that I could jam into the gears of the government machine that would just stop it. Because that's all I was hoping for.
Did you feel that way when there were 18 people in the race?
No, I was a Ted Cruz guy.
Oh, I was not.
I voted for Ted Cruz in the primary.
Ted Cruz or a guy.
But as Trump went on and then he appointed his justices and everything that he did, he won me over. He did a good job.
His fearlessness and outsider stature in the office of the presidency actually permitted him to be more conservative than the people who were really good at the politics of things would have been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Cruz, I know exactly where I'm on record because I started the Annie Frey Show in June of 2016. And in maybe February or May of 2014, I should look that up, is when I first was asked if I'd be interested in sitting in with the Mark Cox Show on Sunday nights. Not by Mark Cox, which was very kind and generous of one of the nicest guys in the business, Mark Cox, to say, yeah, she can come sit in here, because that was, I mean, seriously, just super kind of him, and I will always remember that. But as we moved closer to 2016, 2015 was happening. I'm coming in on Sunday nights for 2 hours on Mark's show, deferring to Mark, of course. He was a big Ted Cruz guy. And I don't recall Mark being, it'd be interesting to talk to him about this. I don't think he was like a super Trump person from the beginning, but he was never really opposed to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was opposed. Because he rubbed me the wrong way. The way a lot of people are rubbed the wrong way now that they know more about him. The things that rubbed me the wrong way when he was running for president are the same things that still rub me the wrong way. But he now has a record that I look at and go, I want more of that. You do that for me as the president of the United States, comparative to anything that the Democrats have to offer. Yes, please, and twice on Sunday. Like, how is this hard?
Yeah.
Oh, you changed your position on something. I mean, Edward and everybody else who is here trying to change our positions every single day. Should we change our positions and think about something and have a different perspective about something? Isn't that what we want? Is evolution on our thoughts?
Well, that, and then don't forget what the alternative is. You know, I mean, what do you want us to expect of, like, it's Donald Trump. We didn't really like him, so instead we're going to vote for Hillary Clinton? Are you outside of your mind?
If that's your thought, then
there's not enough crossover there. There's not. And I don't hate that guy enough. I don't hate Donald Trump at all, but I couldn't hate him enough to make me want to vote for Hillary Clinton, or at least stay home.
Against your own interest.
Against my own interest. I cannot cut off my nose to spite my face.
Because
I can't
somebody
do that.
planted a seed in you that would hopefully bloom into orange hatred.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not a perfect candidate. I'm not of the mindset that Donald Trump was the greatest president we ever had. I don't even know if I can say he's the greatest president of my lifetime, because my lifetime also included Reagan, and Reagan was a pretty darn good president. I know I just made a bunch of liberals go right now that are listening, but he's one of the two best. And like I said, you got to look at what he did, and the stuff that everything about Donald Trump that I didn't like is peripheral. It's like fluff or icing. It wasn't the cake of his presidency.
It's also not like the things that Donald Trump is made out to be that are supposed to be, I don't know, deplorable. The things that you're supposed to recoil from when you hear the name Donald Trump are characteristics that are held by many people who have served in office before, but their political acumen is very polished and served to you smelling like a rose, if you know what I mean. when the entire media industry has one goal in mind: get Trump. Do you remember when he was elected and they're like, the impeachment starts today?
Before he was sworn in.
What? I mean, this is real life, folks. This is real life. This is how Donald Trump has gone through every single day of his candidacy and his presidency. He's mad. You would be too. I mean, honestly, you all are already mad. I don't know that you would be more mad. It'd be a different kind of mad. You'd be a justified mad. You can dislike his policies. You can think that, you know, his idea of building a wall, or his idea of, you know, taxing corporations differently than the Bidenomics way of doing it is wrong. You can think that his thoughts on healthcare or whatever it is wrong. I never hear anybody talk about Donald Trump's policies. I challenge the people who hate Donald Trump so much you can't stop talking about him to name one of his policies. Like, let's go there. But you can't, because you got it bad. And if you look at the candidates, like if your actual thought was that Donald Trump's policies were going to destroy the future of the country and the world, there are people who have more stringent, conservative, maybe Republican policies that are running for president right now than Donald Trump. But I don't see your blind rage oozing out of your pores for those individuals. Donald Trump, he's the answer to everything. What's the problem? Donald Trump. What's the solution? Not Trump. That's the Democrat mantra. Joe Biden's policy on Iran, Joe Biden's policy on energy, Joe Biden's policy on the border. When Joe Biden is posed with a scenario, he first finds out what Donald Trump does so he can know what his policy is. Because his policy is the opposite of what Trump did. And look where it got us. I would take Donald Trump over this every single opportunity that I could possibly find. And yeah, Glenn Beck has been very vocal about his switch on how he has approached Donald Trump over the course of years, but so have a lot of other people. A lot of other people. I just don't understand. Like, if you have not formulated a firmer or more broad thought about Donald Trump since he was running for president in 2016, then you never thought a thought in the beginning. You never used your brain cells to formulate a perspective. It all came from the heart. And as one Senator Kennedy said, follow your heart, but don't forget to take your brain with you. Let's take a quick break. We're going to speak to Senator Eric Schmitt right here on the Annie Frey Show, who is working very hard to make sure that any Missourians who are in Israel get home. What is he doing to make sure this process is fulfilled? What can you do if you need to contact his office to help get somebody home? And also, how does this fit into what the Biden administration plan is to bring our people to stateside? Eric Schmitt on the Annie Frey Show when we come back.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Take out the trash. Ain't gotta be alone to feel lonely. I'm gonna turn off my phone, start catching up with the old me. It's hard.
RulerFoods.com. You need to save money every time you go to the grocery store. Who is like, no, I'll just go spend more. I don't need to save money. I don't understand who thinks that way. So if you haven't gone to Ruler Foods yet because you're like, nah, I know where everything is, I know how to get which aisle all my products are in, I understand that. Will you please just give Ruler Foods one chance to earn your business? Because you're going to find those brands at Ruler Foods. You're going to find Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices, and you're going to save every time you shop at Ruler Foods. Right now, they have great items for chili, delicious chili, huge fan of making chili in our house. You put it in a crock pot, you just eat it for a week. Everything is under $2. Kroger Petite Diced Tomatoes, 85 cents. Kroger Tomato Juice, $1.99. Kroger Diced Tomatoes, 85 cents. 10 for $10. Brooks Mild Chili Beans and Kroger Saltines, $1.29. Make your chili with Ruler Foods and save. We are very excited for the Frey family. Last night, went there, got a whole Mexican meal, including avocados that were fresh and delicious. That's where we shop. Hope you'll shop it as well. RulerFoods.com.
Hey guys, Al and Lisa Robertson coming to you as part of the Duck Dynasty family.
The pro-life cause is near and dear to our hearts, and we would like to share that with you and share God's redemptive grace.
We hope you can join us at the Vitae Foundation's Pro-Life Dinner,
Thursday, October the 26th at the Bogey Hills Country Club. Make your reservations at prowomanaapproach.com. That's prowomanaapproach.com. We'll see you there, okay?
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary, get same as cash financing on James Hardie and Pella windows. And have a banner day.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help. If you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
Operation Food Search knows it can be hard to find ways to help others, even when you want to. That's why they make it easy to join the mission to fight hunger. From volunteer opportunities for the whole family to convenient ways to donate food and money. Every dollar you give provides $10 to feed local children and families. Learn more and spread the word at OperationFoodSearch.org. Join the mission to provide food today and help create a hunger-free tomorrow.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Thursday afternoon, the latest on Israel, on the House Speaker race, and Chris Kerber on the start of the blues season.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We are grateful that you're spending some of your afternoon with us. We're going to get right to our next guest. We welcome back Senator Eric Schmitt to the show. Senator, thank you for the time today. It's good to speak with you.
Good to be with you. Appreciate the bumper music. Haven't heard that in a little while.
Yeah,
so here we are again.
The question was, do we play that again? I'm like, you're darn right we play that again. That's his song
That's
on our
right.
show. Senator, I heard from... This is without seeing a news article about it, and then it is in the news here in St. Louis. KCK is reporting on this as well. From one of my Jewish friends said, hey, I want you to know, Annie, that Senator Schmitt's office is working to get people that have loved ones, from American loved ones in Israel, working to get them back home. And I am hearing so much criticism in the media right now about the Biden administration not doing enough. Tell us what your office is doing and what you want Missourians to understand about the resources that you have for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Biden administration's really dropped the ball with this as far as like getting the information out and letting people know what they can do. And I just feel like this is a core function of representing the people in my state, right? I mean, if they are in a place in harm's way, as American citizens and want to get out, we need to do everything we can to get them out. And so, over the weekend, there's a church group that had was trying to leave, and obviously things get very complicated on Saturday morning. And our team was working, overtime on the weekend to make sure they got safe passage into Jordan, and will, safely be making their way back. And we just kind of got them on a harm's way. So we are, if anybody listening knows anybody that needs help, they can contact our office, and we're going to do everything we can to work with the State Department and whoever else to make sure that people get back home and safe. It's a scary time. Obviously, what's going on in Israel is dramatic. It's terrible. It's brutal acts of terrorism that I think are really bringing home, Annie. We talk a lot about Iran being the number one state sponsor of terrorism. But what does that really mean? Well, here's what it means. It means that they are funding with money and arms Hamas, who is flying in on gliders, shooting up teenagers running away at a peaceful concert, burning grandmothers alive, beheading babies. I mean, this stuff is, this is brutal terrorism, and this is what happens when you're soft on Iran. Or, Joe Biden, they released $360 million to the Palestinian Authority when he came and, just reflexively reversing Trump's policy where he wasn't doing that. So I think as American policymakers, we have to understand very clearly who our friends and our enemies are. Iran is not a friend of the United States. They're certainly not a friend to Israel. They're behind this with Hamas. And, I'm glad there's so many calling this out. It's troubling that there are still some who will not, but I think we need to do everything we can to, first and foremost, get Americans home that want to get home. And then also there's hostages over there, making sure that they're safe too.
We're speaking with the United States Senator representing Missouri, Senator Eric Schmitt. I want to talk about the Americans that are still over there. Of course, we've heard that there are some that are missing. We've heard that they could be among the hostages. I mean, it's an incredibly precarious situation right now. What do you want to say to the Missourians who are worried? I also have friends who have American, dual citizenship over there, and they want to stay. So each situation is different. Where do they go immediately for help if they haven't heard yet that your office is offering this?
Well, certainly the U.S. Embassy in Israel is a key contact point. And they're also, we've got resources on our website. There's a form that you do need to fill out if you do want to leave. We made that available. I've tweeted that out on the official and on my, my personal Twitter account, just, making sure far and wide people know that if that's what they want to do, that we're going to do everything we can to be helpful and get them out. And so I think now it's going to be a sustained effort to make sure there are flights going in and out, and doing everything we can as the United States of America to make sure that people can get in and out of Tel Aviv, essentially, right? In other ways that we can get people back home. So, I am personally, we're going to do everything we can. I can't think of anything more important than you could do as a United States Senator than making sure the people you represent know that you're going to fight for them in every step of the way, including in a war zone, thousands of miles away. So we're going to do that. So we, encourage people to reach out to our office, but then also, I think, knowing that we're standing with Israel here, and that they have every right to defend themselves. They're going to be doing that. I think that if anybody misunderstood what this whole thing's about and what the mission of terrorist organizations like Hamas really are, they do not believe Israel has a right to exist, and they want to wipe them off the face of the earth. And the manifestation of that is, what we're seeing, whether it's on social media or on the news now, just terrible stuff.
We're speaking with Senator Eric Schmitt here on the Annie Frey Show. I was playing earlier. There was a White House press conference. John Kirby was speaking at it, and he was pressed on the $6 billion in the Qatari bank being held right now. They're emphatic that money, every single penny of it, is still being withheld. This is the $6 billion that was a part of the hostage negotiation. That money is supposed to be going to Iran. What are your thoughts on this $6 billion, what the Biden administration has negotiated up to this point, and where that $6 billion should go right now?
Yeah, so I was on record. This is not Monday morning quarterbacking here. On September 11th, mind you, when they cut this deal with Iran, the tone deafness of that alone to do this, again, with a terrorist state on September 11th is mind-boggling. But we should not be in the business of allowing Iran to use $6 billion for terrorist activities. And some might say, well, it's for humanitarian purposes. Look, if I take my daughter shopping and she doesn't have to spend the $100 that she has and I buy the $100 worth of clothes, she gets to use that $100 on something else, right? And so money is fungible. That's exactly what they're doing in Iran. If it is frozen now, then let's take all the questions out of this thing. I tweeted this out earlier today. We're going to be back in Washington next week. The Senate will be. Chuck Schumer, we should be there now, by the way, Annie, working on a budget. We've got another deadline coming in 30 days to pass a budget, but Chuck Schumer went to China, and that's a whole nother story. But when we get back next week, what can happen is a bill can come to the floor, ask for unanimous consent to pass that bill to make sure this money is frozen. And I would pray that no one would object to that. But we're going to find out next week. And I think we ought to find out. Americans, Republicans, and Democrats should be united behind to me, a pretty simple idea, which is the largest state sponsor of terrorism shouldn't have $6 billion to use for terrorism. And that's what's on the line here. So it was a mistake. It was also a mistake to send $400 million in pallets of cash under Obama to Iran. It was also a mistake for Joe Biden to, spend another $300 million the Palestinian Authority to use for stuff like this. So I just think we got to be clear-eyed and sober about this and make smarter decisions as it relates to our, whatever we're doing overseas. We ought to reevaluate all of this stuff. Foreign aid ought to be on the table. We ought to look at who our friends and enemies are. And so there's a lot there, but I think next week the $6 billion issue should come to a head.
We certainly have a very divided government in Congress in both houses. The Republicans can't even agree on a speaker yet at this point in time. Do you believe that there will be an American resolve, bipartisanship in support of Israel? Will we be able to get through this whole thing united, or further we get away from the immediate incurrence of the issue last weekend, do you find us going to our political corners?
I would hope so. I think what could complicate is that people try to tie this up with other things. That is sort of one of my frustrations with Washington is so far is we ought to be able to deal with these issues one at a time, right? Like if we want to support Israel in a certain way, let's vote on that. If there's other issues in Ukraine, I don't personally think the Ukraine issue should be tied up in Israel. They're two very complicated issues that deserve their own separate attention and debate. And so my concern is that you're going to have people want to tie too many of these things together where people can have an honest debate on each one individually. The same is true, by the way, on the budget bills. I've been firm in my belief that we need to handle these bills individually. Let's handle the military in one bill. Let's handle, other issues, the Department of Justice in another bill. And then we can offer amendments. Republicans and Democrats can offer amendments. It's a pressure release valve. You come to a place where people have had full and fair debate. What people shouldn't expect from Washington, which is what we see all too often, Annie, is you get to a deadline, a few people in leadership write an omnibus bill, you get it an hour beforehand, and you say, vote for this or you want to shut down the government. Like, that is not the way we should be. That's not the way you run a railroad. It's certainly not how you should, operate in the United States of America. The Congress should be operating. So, I'm fighting for real reform in that way so that we actually take these bills one-on-one. Let's have a debate, but you got to have time to do it. Chuck Schumer, Annie, has spent 0.0 minutes on the budget on the Senate floor this whole year. Wow. And we're about 30 days away now from another, which is 10 working days, really, from another deadline. And then we're going to hear the chorus of people, well, you want to shut down the government. I want reform because there's too much talk of deadlines in D.C. and not enough about dollars. It's just, I'll leave you with this last point, which is we take in $5 trillion. It's more money than we've ever taken in the United States of America. But we spend over $6 trillion. Just a few years ago, Annie, we were spending $4 trillion. Joe Biden wants to spend $7 trillion. These numbers are astronomical numbers, and they kind of get lost because it's just so much money. But that's why it's important, I think, to handle these issues one by one. People weigh in, and let's look for real reform and savings because we can't have this. It's unsustainable to have a $33 trillion debt and rising. We're spending more on the interest on that debt now, Annie, than we are on our military. It's not a good thing.
It's unbelievable. Senator Eric Schmitt, so well said. One last time for people who might have joined us. If constituents here in the state of Missouri have loved ones in Israel, they want to contact you, where would you like them to go?
Go to schmitt.senate.gov. That's the official page. And then I've linked on my Twitter machine page and others the link to the form that you want to fill out if you're looking for help And, call our office, email our office. We're going to do everything we can to help Missourians who are looking to get back home safely.
Thank you so much for doing that. We appreciate it. And thank you for the time today.
All right, Amy, take care.
Yes, you as well. Do not stop. Eric Schmitt, senator, senator from the state of Missouri. I'll get that right. This is why Brad writes these things out, and I'm just supposed to read them in the order that the words are written on the page. Great to have the senator on the show with us. And it's pretty wonderful to hear from people who are like, Annie, I just want you to know that this guy's office is doing this and working to help get people back. The Biden administration is not doing enough. I don't know what all of the ins and outs of making this happen are, but I'm hearing from people who are trying to get people home that they need more. And Senator Schmitt has stepped into that gap to help Missourians.
Yes, yesterday we talked a little bit about how in the darkest of times you can see man shining brightest sometimes. This is one of those moments where you can look and see people doing what you expect them to do.
And we wanted to give him an opportunity to talk about it, and he did, and I'm very grateful for his time. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. We got a Wiggins America in our back pocket, and I think we're going to get to it when we come back. The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll question for today is, who do you support for speaker? Only Scalise, only Jordan, neither of them, or either of them? Go tell us what you think by voting at the Annie Frey live broadcast right now on our YouTube channel. Leave a comment if you so choose. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Classic Kitchen Refacing is the place where you have been looking for. You haven't found it yet, but they're right there in St. Anne, waiting for you to check them out online, classickitchenrefacing.com, or to just stop by. Beautiful store in St. Anne when you walk in and you get to see it's just so fresh and modern in there, because what they do is they come into your kitchen and your old outdated cabinets that you've looked into replacing and you're like, cha-ching, I don't know about that. That's pretty pricey. You go to Classic Kitchen Refacing, they transform the cabinets that you already have with a beautiful paint color or a wood look, and then they add new hinges, new modern pulls, new modern hardware, and a new backsplash or a new countertops and beautiful Cambria quartz. This is how you remodel your kitchen for dramatically less. If you've been thinking about doing this, it's a huge upgrade to your home. Invest less, but get more when you shop with Classic Kitchen Refacing. Go online to their website, classickitchenrefacing.com, and you can browse through some of the different products that they have available for you. You can see some examples of beautiful, beautiful refinishes that they've done. And when I was in the store at Classic Kitchen Refacing in St. Anne, I could immediately see how they could really bring to life and bring into some modernity the beautiful nature of a brand new looking kitchen. 314-739-1730, online at classickitchenrefacing.com.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation. Because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections? facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
The poll for Annie Frey Show YouTube page today is, do you support, or who do you support for speaker? Is it only Representative Scalise, only Jordan, neither of them, or either of them? Those are your 4 choices. Let us know what you pick and why in the comments. We'll give you the results in about an hour from now. 1:43, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Searching for truth in a world of angles, positions, and outright lies. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it
The
brings
Annie Frey
the
Show
rain
is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
That's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
Well, not necessarily top news of the day, but this is Wiggins America, so we're going to look at things that Americans are doing. And these are things you might be doing every day, and you think nobody else is doing them. I'm going to bring a light to it. You guys can tell me whether or not you actually are doing these things. Now, these are aimed at guys.
When you said this initially, you said this is things people do in private.
Yes.
That's still part of the...
That's still very much part of it. Things that you do when you think nobody's watching.
Is this gonna be gross? Because I'm assuming that when guys are alone, they are only doing gross things.
Well, you're right. No, Brad, just let it go. She's right. But what I've done here is I separated them into 2 pages. The first page is ones that I think that everybody, that's regardless of guys. It's something that everybody probably does. The second page is more about guys in general. First one.
For the record, before you read any of these,
Sure.
if it's gross things that guys do, I'm not going to be like, oh, I do that all the time. I'm just telling you right now, but I'm not going to say that for some things and just be sitting here quietly for the others.
Look, I can tell you that some of these things you can't do.
Ew. Secondly, I do no gross things ever. Carry on.
Not that, look, all these aren't gross. Some of these are just things you may do when you think nobody's watching.
Well, I know, but I just assume that they're all repulsive.
Page 2 is that stuff. Okay?
But I want to say before we start talking about it, I'd be like, well, Annie didn't say she didn't do that. That doesn't mean anything. I don't do any of these things. I don't even know what they are.
We'll see. I don't know about that.
Okay.
If Annie doesn't comment, I'll just assume she does do
That's
it.
exactly why I just made the disclaimer.
No.
Because I'm also going to take care of some other business while we talk here.
Disagree. Nope.
There's an 8th grade night tonight, and I have to prepare.
Oh, gosh. That's something I don't ever want to talk about. 8th graders.
Okay. Just a super broad statement. But anywho, go on.
All right.
Go on with your important piece of information.
Right. Number 1. Now, this is for singles, not necessarily us. This is when you're single. Would you ever imagine your entire life with somebody you just met?
Men do this?
Apparently, this is something that guys do. Like, picture your entire life playing out being married to that person.
That is 100% something women do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's why I think that it's interesting that it says the guys do this.
No.
Brad, no?
No.
I can't say I never, ever did that. I wouldn't say it was common. But if I like somebody.
I can't think of a moment where I did it.
So these are things that are done in private?
Well, internally, yeah.
I
But-
don't know how you could do that publicly.
Yeah.
Well, you could talk about it with people. There is no possible way that Brad would admit to doing that.
Oh, obviously.
I could see you making up that you do, Ryan. But a lot of these things, I'm just going to say, as much as I'm saying I don't do any of them, Brad is not going to admit it.
Are you saying,
I
though,
don't know about that.
that girls do this? Single girls do this all the time?
Obsessively.
Like with every guy? Or just
No.
most guys? Certain guys?
It's a trap.
Not with that. It's not a trap. No, with a guy that they're attracted to.
Okay.
Like maybe the cashier that you're spending all that time with at Ruler Foods. Is that who? Was that why? Well, you said single guys. You're married.
Yeah, and I'm married, and she was like really into like new age stuff.
And you
so
said,
I
like-
don't think her and I.
That's why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Guys do this with girls they just met.
That's what it says.
No.
That guys do this. It's probably assumed that girls do this, but it's saying yes, guys do this too.
I've not done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say yes to that one. All right, number 2. Picture nightmare scenarios that would probably never happen and maybe could never happen, like zombie apocalypses and stuff, where you're the person who has to save the day.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Do you?
Yes.
Not
Not necessarily in a hero, I'm the hero kind of mode, but what I have to do or what could happen and then what I need to do in that situation to affect the best outcome, I think is how I would describe it. But yeah.
What about you, man?
I used to...
Not you, Ryan.
I don't do this.
You don't do
I
that.
don't. I would say once in a while, I check to make sure the doors are locked
You're
at
like,
night.
what if I go into my office and it's in the 12 o'clock hour and the gummy bears are gone? What do I do?
I mean, those are nightmare scenarios. But.
Oh, man. I used to sit in my classroom and think about this whenever I was, like, in school. Not teaching school, but in school. It's like, what would I do if somebody kicked through the door right now?
Well, I mean, that's actually not bad to think about. But I'm talking about stuff that is really, really out there. And I'm not necessarily saying zombie apocalypse, because that could obviously, that's not even close to reality. But.
I have a zombie apocalypse plan.
Do you really?
I do.
Yeah, good heaven.
I hate to say it, but I think my wife does too. She once in a while will say stuff about.
The irony of this is that you're not sure what the plan is, which means it might not involve you.
I was going to say, if she hasn't told you.
No, I think in her scenario, I am a zombie and I'm trying to eat her brain.
Oh.
Number 3. This is the best one, really. I hate to say it, but it is. Kicking ice cubes under the fridge when they fall.
That they do?
Yeah, you do it. You think nobody notices. You don't think there's any problem with it.
I can't do it.
I can't either. I can't do it.
Why?
Because I think
kind of
there's.
strike me as I drop ice cubes to kick them under the fridge.
I know that I would seem like that, but there's something later that I might have to deal with if I do that now. I don't know what that is.
New flooring?
But yeah, like some problem down the road that I'm thinking, I don't want to do it because I don't have to deal with that problem.
I used to do that until we got a dog, and then I just throw it in his water bowl.
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
Todd says I kick it to my dog.
Good idea.
That's what dudes do.
Singing along to
dog.
songs that you shouldn't like, but you do.
Oh, yeah, you guys do that.
Totally do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was singing
Just
Bop.
shake it off.
Ugh.
Shake it off. Ryan, I didn't know you were going to sing
It's that
there.
scene from Tommy Boy all the time. It's like you could change the song if you want to. No, I'm cool with it if you are. Then the next season, they're just full on singing along.
Last one is deeply sobbing / not being able to function after a pet dies. I can admit to that. That's incredibly sad. I don't know why guys wouldn't admit to that.
I don't know that I've been in that situation yet.
Really?
Yeah.
If Poe passed away, you would be very
I
sad.
dread about that because I watch him getting older each day, and I don't like thinking about that. So.
Well, that's another one that I would add is thinking about the day this pet's going to die. Pretty much from the time you get the pet, thinking about.
Oh, not from the time that I get him, no.
Oh, man.
But as he's aged, it's like,
What's the second page?
The second page is what we're moving to now, Annie.
Do I need to leave?
No, but I'll try to say this in a radio-friendly way. When you wake up in the morning and
skip that one.
Sometimes when you try to go to the bathroom, it doesn't go where you want. I'm talking about number 1 here, not number 2. Number 2 we got under control. But sometimes, and I don't even think it's just the morning. I think it's based on the bathroom here at Odyssey.
This is too much.
Apparently, it doesn't go where guys want it to go. I'm going to say no to that one. I don't know why that's so tough. Brad?
No, sometimes your aim's off. I don't know.
Okay, so you're stamping
Not
your
in the
seal of
morning.
approval on it.
No.
Looking at guys on the street and imagining a one-on-one, just with anybody, where you end up winning, but you had some pretty awesome moves built in that you didn't even know you were capable of.
No.
Especially when the other guy's taller and better built. It says.
Do you imagine having fights with people?
Never.
I know.
Ever.
If somebody approached you on the street, which could happen today, and started to fight you, what would you do?
I would assume they were kidding. I'd be like, this is some kind of joke, right?
That is what you would
Candid
do.
camera.
So
Okay,
they-
you got me.
So they punch you in the face. Then
Yeah.
what happens next?
Then I go, really? Well, okay.
No, really. What do you do?
I
You
think-
run?
I don't know. I think I would be shocked. I have no idea what I would do. I really don't.
So this is where you get to imagine the scenario.
I don't imagine it.
From you see earlier in the segment that something like that. I'm telling you to imagine it right now.
Yeah.
You're walking downtown. I mean, totally out of the blue, likely not to happen. You're walking downtown St. Louis, broad daylight. Somebody comes up to you and starts yelling at you, and you're like, this person seems out of their mind, because they probably are.
Yeah.
And they physically come at you.
I mean, I think if it's a sucker punch, then I really don't know what I'm doing because I'm on the ground and I have no idea what just happened. But if I can see it coming, I'm probably
He's yelling at you and coming at you.
going to take the lion approach. You know what the lion
Lion on the
approach is,
ground?
right? No, not the lion. No, that's very good. I appreciate the humor there.
I thought that's what you meant.
No, I don't. What I mean is when you see a lion charging, you make yourself as big as possible.
Is that what you do for? That's a bear.
Whatever it is, that's the tactic I would use.
Lion
It depends on the bear. One of the bears you're supposed
Yeah.
to curl up, and the other one you're supposed to be
I'm
loud.
gonna have to ask
Yeah.
that bear what kind of bear it is.
Yeah, figure out, look it up real quick while it's
Am I
charging.
supposed to be big or fast or slow or just dead?
It's that third one.
It's ironic that it's the same thing when you're just downtown St. Louis. You have to ask all those important questions.
Mm-hmm. So I would make myself as imposing as possible, probably even reach for a side piece, even if I wasn't wearing one, to make it look like I was serious about whatever was happening.
You think that's going to stop a cracked out guy who thinks that you have $20 so you can get another hit?
If I knew he was just coming for the 20, I'd probably give him the 20. Anything else?
He can't answer the question.
No.
You know what? You've answered the question. You're toast.
What about you? Do you picture those scenarios?
Now I know what Brad's doing.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
I'm ready.
I want to read this one, but I'm trying to read it right.
Do you need help with the word?
No.
Okay.
It's the.
You find yourself on the couch.
Is this, wait, do we want to do this? Make good decisions, Ryan. I don't know what you're about to say.
Al Bundy.
I wasn't allowed to watch that show, probably for whatever reason you're implying.
Hand tucked.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, dudes are doing that.
Yeah. Heck yeah. 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 I don't even know why. Because I'm seeing like even my son. I'm like, really?
What
It
are you
just
doing?
must be like it must be in the human genome that you're gonna do that. That's the last. You know what? The last two, we should just probably punt on the last two.
You're probably
Because
right.
they're about smells and stuff, and like we don't really need to do that.
Smells? That's where you draw the line?
Yeah, I think those three are probably good enough. Smelling yourself, I don't think we need to go there.
I told you, men are disgusting. But it's part of who you are. I'm going to be honest. I want a man who smells like a man.
Good.
You smell lovely, by the way.
I do not. I smell terrible.
Oh, what is that smell? Man, flying high here in the Annie Frey Show
Yeah.
studio. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the 2 o'clock hour on the Annie Frey Show. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Who do you support for speaker? Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat. We'll be right back.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor. an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to get healthy, if you're looking to have more energy, to get rid of the knee pain, the joint pain, the just feeling of carrying those extra 10, 20, 50, 100 pounds, whatever it might be, I've got a solution for you. I want you to go to myslim180.com and register for a free online consultation. myslim180.com. You're going to get $25 off an appointment when you mention Annie and get 20% off one of their programs, be it the Nutritional Guidance Program, the Crave Program, or the Regenerate Weight Loss Program. They accept FSA and HSA. If you've got that money sitting there, especially if you're thinking about that FSA where the money is gone by the end of the year, this is a wonderful way to invest in yourself, losing up to 20 pounds in as little as 6 weeks. Do the math. That means by Thanksgiving, 20 pounds down, you are going to want to be in all of the photographs, celebrating yourself and your new, healthier version of you. They have semaglutide. They have tirzepatide. You can get them way cheaper with Slim180, myslim180.com.
If you want to lose weight, I've got a great idea for you. Mark Cox here for my friends at Victory Men's Health. They're now offering FDA-approved semaglutide. They have tremendous results with this medication. The average patient loses 15% of their body weight. Men and women can get semaglutide from Victory Men's Health at any of their 3 locations. Be sure and book your appointment today online at victorymenshealth.com.
How would you like to make no mortgage payments until next year? Are you tired of making minimum payments on high-interest credit cards? Is student loan repayment giving you the blues? Your home equity is at an all-time high. Use that equity to save hundreds every month. Call 314-567-GOLD now and give yourself a payment break. That's 314-567-GOLD. Or visit goldenoaklending.com. NMLS 114937.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
How to get out of Israel. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's a challenge for people from many countries, including the U.S., with many flights canceled after Saturday's Hamas attacks.
The president has asked his team to ensure that we are assisting U.S. citizens who do want to leave Israel and providing them with a safe means of doing that. So beginning tomorrow, the United States government will arrange charter flights to provide transportation from Israel to sites in Europe.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby also announcing that 27 Americans are now known dead, with 14 unaccounted for, and a handful of Americans believed to be among Hamas hostages. The Pentagon telling more than 2,000 U.S. Marines to cut short a joint exercise with Kuwait and return to the USS Bataan.
The 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is capable of U.S. special operations, was told to reload 48 hours after they disembarked in Kuwait to prepare for, quote, further tasking as a result of emerging events, a reference to the Hamas attack on Israel and missing Americans.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon, the U.S. sending a second aircraft carrier to the region. U.S. Senator Bob Menendez is accused of acting as a foreign agent in a new indictment.
The New Jersey Democrat and his wife are facing new allegations as part of a broad investigation into corruption. In a superseding indictment filed in Manhattan, federal prosecutors say the couple conspired as an agent of Egypt and Egyptian officials in violation of federal law. Menendez and his wife have pleaded not guilty to charges filed last month that accused the senator of accepting millions of dollars in bribes in exchange for helping Egypt and New Jersey business associates.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. Menendez stepped down as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, but has refused calls to resign. Police in Minnesota now say a suspect is in custody after 5 officers were shot and wounded earlier today. All of the injuries believed to be not life-threatening. America is listening to Fox News.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies, windy and warm going through the afternoon. Might be a stray shower. Really tough to find. 79-80 for the high. Clouds move in tonight. It's windy and very mild. 62. Then on Friday, periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms, especially Friday afternoon into early Friday evening. Windy and 75 degrees. Windy and chilly over the weekend. Only 58 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan are a phone call or a text away, 314-324-4440. There are a lot of people who are facing mounting credit card debt right now. Rates have gone through the roof for pretty much everything. And credit cards, that is not something that has been able to escape the high rates. Now, if you are somebody who has been dealing with inflation, you have an emergency happen, pretty soon the savings dwindles, the credit card debt gets out of control. Go see, call, or text Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage because he has a solution for you that can get you out of this burden. And I know for a lot of people, there's some pride that you have to set aside because you don't want to talk to anyone else about it. Stewie is helping people that are in your very situation, never faced something like this before, helping them manage and get out of their credit card debt. 314-324-4440. You can call or text Stewie today at 314-324-4440. Mention Annie said something about help with credit card debt, and he will get you started on a process that's going to give you the exhale that you have needed. 314-324-4440, NMLS number 226715.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And did we mention it's aluminum free? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 500 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 500. LumeDeodorant.com, code 500 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code 500.
Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by today or learn more at O'ReillyAuto.com.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Fact-checking the fact-checkers daily. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're glad that you're here with us today. I said something earlier on the show about I shouldn't have eaten those 2 chips. Now I'm
I told you not to.
You waited until she bit the chip. You're like, that's the worst choice.
She said, "What should I do?" And I waited until she ate one. I said, "Don't eat one."
I haven't eaten a meal today. Here's what I've had today. I had a Scooter's coffee, large iced, non-fat, sugar-free, vanilla latte extra shot, and a kombucha, and that's it.
And 2 chips.
Now, I got some baked lays here just to get me through the rest of the show, and I said to these guys, I said, what would be worse? I really want to eat these chips. My tummy is a little rumbly, and I want to make that stop. What's worse, sitting here not getting to eat any of them before the segment, or just eating 1 or 2? And then I ate 2, and that was the wrong choice.
How do you feel about baked lays?
Good.
Okay.
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're a good diet food. And by diet, I just mean like 65% less fat. It's not health food. It's not like, I think I did a pretty good job today. I ate my baked lays. But I like them. Would I rather have the non-baked ones? Maybe, but not necessarily. It's just kind of a different thing.
I just had some baked lays over the weekend. I thought they were okay. First time I ever had baked chips outside of at Quiznos about 5 years ago. I had a bag of baked something. It was off-brand, and they were the worst chips I've ever had in my life. And I walked up to the counter, and I demanded my money back.
I think off-brand matters.
Yeah, they must have been.
There's a giant shark headed right now to North Carolina. What is happening?
Oh, yeah, Shark Watch.
That was in June 1st of 2016.
They're just updating you.
It's not even a news show. It's just a show.
This is taking them a long time to get there.
This is TMZ. What was I talking about?
Baked lays.
No, I wasn't talking about baked lays. I was going to say that I talked earlier in the show. I looked at the show sheet, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 categories of sound that I can play. And in those 10 categories are a various number of clips. There could be 1 clip. There could be 6 clips, just whatever Brad puts together and Leah puts together before the show. One of them says, do we agree with the view? And it's like an obvious no. And then I read through the clips, and I was like, well, no, wait a second. I got to actually listen to these clips.
There's been many attacks on Israel before. There's been many issues in that region before. And always the response from around the world has been to Israel, have restraint. Yesterday, nobody was telling Israel to have restraint because you cannot call on Israel to have restraint when 1,200 at least of their citizens have been slaughtered in the savage, inhumane, cruel, medieval way that they have been killed. And so, look, we're about to see much more carnage. It's going to get incredibly painful. The only people that are to blame for this is Hamas. Yeah. Hamas is going to be the ones culpable for what's going to happen in Gaza.
Anna Navarro, everybody.
The one pseudo-conservative on the show, right?
No, she's not that anymore. She's not even fake representing that.
Oh, okay.
Here's Joy Behar.
Did Hamas really think that the Israelis would not go back at them?
No, they knew.
I
And they
mean,
were put-
wait a
carrying out their
second.
own
This
people.
business of the Palestinians, our heart goes out to all innocent civilians.
Yes, absolutely.
But the Israelis will warn them, we're coming in. This group did not warn them. They killed teenagers, kids who were just out like our kids could be at a rock concert. They kidnapped infants. I believe they kidnapped 3 children from one family. These are monstrous people, the Hamas people.
They don't care about their own lives, and they don't care about other lives.
They do not care about anybody's life.
What do you think that the Biden administration thinks when they hear that from The View? Do you think it changes, Brad, their perspective on what to do? Does it matter at all to the Biden administration, the politics of the moment? Because this is one of those moments in American history where we have to have a principle that we abide by, whether it's popular or not.
I think that for the Biden administration, the politics of the moment is the only thing that matters to them. They seem to be an administration that they look at this, what is the best way we can spin this politically speaking? They lick their finger, stick it up in the air, and see which way the political winds are blowing. I think what this does, though, is I think that there are some probably younger staffers in the Biden administration. And it seems like the pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, I say that loosely, pro-Hamas crowd is usually younger college students, just out of college students, that really take that line. I mean, even if you look at the squad, they're younger members of Congress that are doing this. I think that this rattles them because they think everybody thinks the way I do. And to see somebody who is a Joy Behar, who is like as staunchly liberal as they come, in the bag for Democrats as they come, say, hey, no, we don't support anything Palestine on this. Hamas is in the wrong. I think that kind of shakes them a little bit.
There are clips here that we also have. This comedian, Daniel Ryan Spalding, is this an American person?
No, he's out of Berlin, but I think he's Jewish.
And the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus protest, is this just sound from the campus protest?
Yes.
Let's listen into what they were
saying. Glory to the martyrs! Glory to the martyrs! Do you know what you're saying when we say, we will liberate the land? There you go. We will liberate the land by any means necessary. We will liberate the land! By any means necessary!
So this is what's going on the campus of University of Wisconsin. You got to think that these people are going to grow up one day and be like, that was so ignorant. Because everybody, you can have a passionate, incredibly uninformed position and then go, wow, I got that one really wrong. Where are the people showing these people that they are really wrong? And who is it incumbent upon that we see and call out this bigoted hatred when it is in America? We cannot look at protests going around and not have a counter message. Do they have a First Amendment right to say this stuff? I assume that all of everything they're doing there falls under their First Amendment right. But if you got a counter position, you too have that First Amendment right. I mean, honestly, when I see the Anna Navarro and Joy Behar saying that on The View, I think that that's going to be pretty impactful.
I do too.
Culturally.
No, I really do too. In fact, Brad said it because when you asked that question, I was like, well, are you going to Brad or me? And you went to Brad. Brad literally, I think, quoted exactly what I was going to say, which is, I think that is the only thing. This kind of stuff, this media environment that we live in, what are people saying? That is the only thing that the Joe Biden administration and really a Democrat administration cares about at this moment, because we live in this media-run state where they can pretty much just move them however they want.
Doesn't it seem like we're just playing on borrowed time right now? Like we have 390 days to the election. Every day that passes is one day closer. And listen, we will elect a president in November of 2024. That president doesn't become the president until January of 2025. Mm-hmm. The stakes could not be higher than they are right now. Joe Biden is not capable of handling this moment. And, you know, to some extent, I don't know, but I question how much of any moment, big or small, he's been handling it all for the duration of his presidency. What's being handled for him? I mean, the man himself cannot enter a stage and exit a stage without saying, they told me. fill in blank here.
Yeah.
Where to go, where to stand, what to say. Yes, I understand that every president of the United States is instructed, you're going to go walk out to the podium. You're first going to call on this person, and then you can take whatever questions. We want to stick to these topics. We want to make sure that these are the points from our policy position that we key in on. This reporter is going to ask you, the New York Post is going to ask you about this, and you don't want to take a question for this person, or you if you call on that person, they're going to say that. Here's Corinne Jean-Pierre with the New York Post, exactly in that scenario.
All right, you haven't called on me in 2 seasons, Corinne.
And not calling on you today. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
You should be ashamed of that.
Go ahead.
That shows
Go ahead.
disrespect to a free and independent media. It's blacklist one of our country's largest and most widely read newspapers, Corinne. That shows contempt for a free and independent press.
And this reporter from the New York Post, Stephen Nelson, is exactly right. Corinne Jean-Pierre can't handle it. Mm-hmm. Anybody who walks into that podium should know that I think that the story was going to be about the Hunter Biden stuff.
I'm not sure of the context surrounding it.
I think I remember reading that, but it doesn't matter. He's from the New York Post. He's not from American Eagle Patriot for you, number 4, letter U, dot,
for you.
Freedom Lover.
Right.
Go to that website, please. Somebody tell me what you see.
Dot Eagle.
It's the New York Post. When I ask a hard question of a guest, I'll have a guest on who's a friendly guest. And I'll ask him a question that some might be like, gosh, Annie, you seem like you're arguing for the other side. My goal when I ask questions of guests is to say, essentially, this is what's being said about you. If I'm the politician in that instance, I want that question because I want to answer it. I want to speak to that. I want to be on the record. I understand that there are detractors out there who are saying X, Y, and Z about me. This is what I have to say to them, so you give a clear answer. And if you are in a position to face a microphone or a camera and you're not prepared to have answers to those tough questions, get away from the microphones and the cameras. He can't handle the job. If Corinne Jean-Pierre's job description is to go out there and look like an oaf every day, where she only answers favorable questions, and if anybody challenges her, she gets to just brush them off, roll her eyes, scoff, and move on. That is what this administration thinks of you. It's not what the administration thinks of the New York Post. It's not what the administration thinks of Fox News. It's what they think of the people who consume those media outlets. It's what they think of you. Corinne Jean-Pierre is doing that to you because the free press, which is part of the First Amendment in this country, is the number one way that we hold the people accountable on a large scale that control the representative government that we have. We cannot let Corinne Jean-Pierre get away with it. She should be criticized far and wide for being a coward, because that's what she is. She is a coward. The administration is a coward because they won't answer the tough questions. Donald Trump himself put himself in front of that press pool every day, I'm sure to the dismay of the communications team of the administration, and he would put his hands together, rub them together, and say, let's go. And if you're on the PR team, you're going, oh my God, what's he going to say today? How are we going to manage this? But he was going to go out and do the same thing the next day. Nobody was going to go tell Donald Trump, we're not speaking to the press pool today. He'd say like hell, and then he'd go find a press pool somewhere, and he'd just start talking to them, which is really what I want to see from anybody who is supposed to answer to the people of this country, because he works for us. Joe Biden doesn't even know who he works for, but I'm sure that where he takes his orders from, it's not the American people. It's a few American people, and I don't trust it. I don't think it's going to last. And we are in the position in the world right now because of their terrible, terrible leadership. You cannot politically react to everything and get away with it forever. And if those chickens are coming home to roost, based on what's going on in Israel and Iran's connection to it, we could be in really big trouble right now. They talk about elections having consequences. My heavens. YouTube live chat poll for today. Who do you support for speaker? Only Representative Scalise, only Representative Jordan. Neither of them or either of them. Do you guys have staunch, strong thoughts on this poll, or
I do have strong thoughts. I do.
What about you, Brad?
I have a strong thought, but it's going to be a strong thought on a wishy-washy answer.
I doggone it. Me too.
Really? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, actually. I didn't want to say it that way, but took the words right out of my mouth,
What's
Meatloaf.
the Seinfeld Peanuts line? I don't know.
What's the deal with airline peanuts? Am I doing it? Is that why I had to say that?
It's better than.
Am I doing the voice?
No, I'm just doing it. All right, let's take a quick break. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Who do you support for speaker? We will tell you what we think about this at 2:45, and we will enter in some of your thoughts here on the air. For instance, Mark said, I voted for Jim Jordan. He's a fighter, and Scalise has leukemia and needs to heal first. Scooter says, Hakeem Jeffries, ride or die, go big or go home. That's not one of the options, so I guess neither for him. Doug says, there's always one.
Surmising.
Scalise will be speaker. I am more concerned with the October 13 worldwide call for jihad with our open border. I can understand people having concerns about that day that has been called for by one of the leaders of the terrorists. And we'll get to some more of your comments. You just got to join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll, which is on the live broadcast of the show today. Leave a comment. We'll feature you at 2:45. Let's get Trish in here for Annie, Are You Okay? In just a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
When you are looking to purchase flooring, you need to make sure you give Michael's Flooring Outlet the opportunity to earn your business. So many people in St. Louis have done that already, which is why they've been serving people exactly like you in their flooring purchases for 30 years as a locally owned and operated flooring business. Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com, and they have every product type that you're looking for, and they have the expertise to help guide you through that purchase. What's your budget? What is the flooring space that you're looking to cover? What are the lifestyle situations you might be in with pets or with kids or grandkids or whatever the case might be? They can answer all of those questions to make sure that your investment is going to be a good and sound one that you're going to have confidence in. That's what Michael's Flooring Outlet has been doing for those 3 decades here in St. Louis. Why not you be next? If you go visit them at igotfloor.com, you can request an estimate on there. Maybe you're looking for the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk, which gives you silky softness, superior performance, and 3 times more individual fibers than ordinary nylon carpet. This is the type of quality that they can offer you, and they will give you great value each and every time. Go shop elsewhere, but make sure you don't make your purchase before you go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, and I bet you'll be a customer before long. Find them online at igotfloor.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to experience something paranormal, supernatural, or unexplainable? Join host Jack Wagner on the podcast Otherworld as he explores spine-chilling real stories shared by everyday people who have experienced something unexplainable. Listen each week for first-person testimony from people who have come face-to-face with something that can't just be explained away. Listen and follow Otherworld, an Odyssey podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now is the time to replace your home's exterior during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary with same-as-cash financing. Beautify the exterior of your home and save with famous James Hardie siding and Pella windows. James Hardie looks and feels like real wood with no maintenance. Call now for special financing. Let Banner Construction's exterior design team give you a free quote. Call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com. And have a banner day.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. So don't compromise. Choose Diamonds Direct and enjoy the luxury of confidence in your fine jewelry purchase. Regardless of your budget, our expert team ensures every customer enjoys the same luxury experience, rooted in selection, education, and ultimate value. Start and end your search at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all. Engagement rings, exquisite diamond jewelry, the most sought-after designer brands, Swiss timepieces, and colored gemstones, all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. At Olive and 270, official partner of the St. Louis Blues and proud to call the Gateway City home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to 20% on a new HVAC system when you bundle it with attic insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
There are many ways to listen. Most choose radio. But have you tried streaming? Download the Odyssey app and you can stream 97.1 with one touch. Or try it touchless by telling your smart speaker to play it. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Well, Pam thinks Jesus is on his way. Doug thinks she's a hoot. Rob thinks Bud Light makes you gay. Shane thinks Rob is cute. Coach thinks college athletes are making too much bank. Kim thinks COVID was a Chinese prank. Buddy thinks everything I sing sucks cause it don't sound like Hank. Oh baby, I think beer goes good with a lake and a lake. Goes good with a dock and a dock. Goes good with a fish on a hook and a hook. Goes good with a country song. The song goes good with a smile. The smile goes good with a kiss. The kiss goes good with you. And baby, you go good with me. Well, old cousin Carl thinks we...
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha. Welcome to the studio here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You look lovely today.
Thank you so much.
I like that blazer.
Thanks. It's new.
That's good on you.
I'm dressed up in my little fancy blazer outfit today.
Did you have business to attend to, or is that for us?
This is mostly for you.
You're a liar.
Yeah, there's a business soiree this evening, so
yeah.
I've got eyeliner on and everything.
You look great.
Hey, thanks.
I was going to tell you that too, but you're a girl, so I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
You're welcome.
Now you've made her uncomfortable.
Yeah. Moving over. U.S. Custom officials seize giraffe feces from woman at Minnesota airport.
Wait. Huh?
Are we playing? Annie, are you okay?
U.S.
Custom officials seize giraffe
seize
take them.
You meant like saw.
Seize.
Seize.
They seize them.
I think that looks like giraffe feces in her bag.
U.S. Customs, not Australian, sir.
I spy with my little eye.
I seize them. They take them from a woman at a Minnesota airport. Federal custom agents.
Elon Omar.
Federal custom agents stopped an Iowa woman from traveling with giraffe poop she picked up on a trip to Kenya. The woman told officials she planned to use the waste to make a necklace, as she had done. As she had done in the past with moose poop.
As one does.
As you do with animal feces when you seize them.
Was this the one on your list, Ryan, earlier that you didn't want to say that people do when nobody's watching?
Look, we all make jewelry out of our animals' feces.
I wish I didn't
when
eat
nobody's
those chips.
watching. No, I guess my question is how they knew right away this is giraffe poop. Like, what does it look like?
They had to bring in the animal poop experts.
You can tell from its long neck.
It's actually little round balls.
Oh.
It's going to be a big costume jewelry, poop jewelry.
Okay.
Annie,
I mean, really, what even is this?
You can tell this comes from a giraffe. You can tell from its little round balls.
This is for sure giraffe feces. I see these. Annie, are you okay
Very
with poop
questionable.
jewelry?
No, I don't. I like. You ever hear people talking in English, but they're saying words that you just don't? You're like, I'm not. There's something that's not translating. It's happening right now.
This makes me mad that they took it. It's not their business. It's between her and that giraffe.
The giraffe's business.
That's the giraffe's business.
Literal business.
That's right.
What was like in favor of freedom and liberty? What was their right to take the poop?
I think that it's a toxic hazard to travel with feces.
I mean, everybody kind of is.
Just not in their carry-on.
If she had stuck a string in it, though, and put it around her neck, that's fine.
I think that it is interesting because she has moose poop jewelry already. What if she would have been wearing that jewelry?
It's kind of a messy situation.
Is there a spiritual thing here? Is there like a connection that I'm failing to make as to why somebody who is not me would like this?
I don't know of any real religion or spirituality
Like,
that honors the
super
poop.
Connected to the earth and the circle of life in a like Rafiki Simba kind of way
I get
that
you.
I don't get.
And I think even the tree huggers, they didn't love poop. I don't know, but I don't think they did.
Are you just saying words now too?
No, no. I'm making
for
coherent
opportunities
points.
to say poop.
All I know is he was losing his way because Christopher Walken was peeking around the corner there. Go back and listen to it. I don't know.
I don't know if we could trust that every religion in the world
to respect
does like or dislike poop. I don't know.
This is New York, Christopher Walken. It's very specific. It's
it was very
refined.
quiet.
Yes.
She's okay with it, but very quietly.
All
okay.
right. Missouri man paddles down Missouri River in giant pumpkin. A Missouri man climbed into a hollowed-out pumpkin he grew himself and paddled 38.4 miles down the Missouri River to break a world record.
What else was he going to do with that pumpkin?
I don't know. His name was Steve Cooney. He carved out the 1,208-pound pumpkin, turned it into a boat, named it Huckleberry, and spent 11 hours paddling from Kansas City to Napoleon.
One of these times, you're going to come in here with a story like that, and you're talking about Missouri man, Missouri River. You're going to say that, and you're going to say his name was Steve Moore.
Steve Moore, he's out of the office today?
Yeah, no, he's listening right now.
On the 11-hour paddle down the Missouri
Oh, there's Steve
River.
Cooney going down the river in his Huckleberry.
Yeah, that looks like Steve Moore.
There he is. Look at him go.
What's today? The 12th? Oh, yeah, that's Steve Cooney.
You know,
headed down the river in the old Huckleberry.
Working on radio, it's a hard job. Sometimes you just need to get away.
My question. Whoa. Nope. The question was,
Probably came down from Hannibal.
Are you okay with carving pumpkins?
Yeah,
you're a fan of pumpkin carving.
It's a good question. See how she does that there?
He's good at it.
I love carving pumpkins. It's very, very rewarding when you put the candle in and you put them out on the deck or on the front porch at night and they glow. Because when you're chiseling these things away, there are some intricate things you can do with a pumpkin. But even if it's 2 triangles and a smile mouth or something like that, you're doing it with the kids, you put the candle in there or whatever, light it up, there's joy.
I agree with that. Super satisfying.
Did he just carve the top or did he carve a jack-o'-lantern face in it?
He carved his face in it.
You can tell it's Steve Cooney when he parks it.
How come that?
You can use a bathroom, you can look and see his face in the pumpkin.
2 armholes so he could get his arms out.
How come that pumpkin says KMOX? Come back.
It's the only marketing budget we have.
We're trying to make news. We are the news.
That is actually something Steve Moore would come up with.
It is. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to get a really big pumpkin.
I've been growing this pumpkin. Hear me out.
What I want to do is I want to get the really big pumpkin, just a little bit bigger than that guy, so he could only hold the record for this amount of time. Carve KMOX in it so that everybody covers it, and we'll just slap a 97.1 bumper sticker on the back end of it and try to get in the picture.
Honey, I want you to meet my boss. Why are we going to the Arch Riverfront? Well, it's because it's the 12th.
Oh, we're going to eat some snacks. You like pumpkin seeds?
Oh, boy. Sugar shortage threatens Halloween candy supply.
I already know about this story.
This is a bummer story.
Is this your fault?
No.
It's technically extreme weather. It's dealt a
extreme weather's
major
fault.
blow to the industry.
That was your band name.
It's extreme weather's fault.
It's new age
It's
music.
just extreme weather.
Extreme weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
real slow.
Thailand is the 4th largest sugar producer.
Check out extreme weather.
It's like a soft rain. Anyway, because of flooding and droughts across the world, in the nation's sugar-producing central hubs, the International Sugar Organization, which is
We opened for
thing,
Sigur Rós.
I think International Sugar Organization is another band name you could use. Prices.
ISO.
Hey, welcome. We're extreme weather. We want you guys to just chill out. Have a good time tonight.
Relax.
Check this out. It's one we wrote in 2014. It's called Thunder.
I think I needed to laugh. I think I've been holding in laughter because I can't get it together.
It's just the way the clouds make you feel. I want you to sit back and relax and act like you're floating on one for a minute. We'll take you there. Ready? Here we go.
I need you to stop.
We've been extreme weather. Stick around for Sigur Rós.
Anyway, sugar is at a 12-year high. The question to the room once Annie comes back is, are you guys okay with how much candy we eat this time of year?
Heck yeah. Not enough.
You know, if somebody were to say to me, you want a whole candy bar, I'd be like, oh, I can't eat that. There is an unlimited amount of miniature candies that you can eat at one time.
Yeah, you don't ever stop yourself when they're in the little individual packs.
No, it's very bad. It's got to stay away. The answer is no, I'm not okay with it.
It's weird that you would say no to a full-size candy bar. I think I would say yes and not even, I would grab it out of their hands without my hands.
No, because when
Just
you're
with my face.
constantly living
into 7-Eleven, just like grabbing Snickers out of people's hands.
Do you want one of these? Oh, did you say they're on sale?
No.
Just stick my head in the bin.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So, nope, too much candy. Annie, I'm sorry in advance for this story. You're not going to... Yeah, you're not going to like it. Baby spiders are falling from the sky in California.
Oh, hell.
The San Francisco Bay Area...
Like literal hell.
Yeah, it is, actually. The San Francisco Bay Area has received numerous reports and photos of spiders falling out of the sky and sticking to surfaces as they reach land. They're sticking all over people.
Well, I was going to go live in San Francisco, but I guess
Not now.
Now that it's dirty, I don't want to do that.
Residents have noticed globs of white webbing containing baby spiders that apparently need a new place to live. They are going through a process called ballooning, and they are just randomly falling on people. My question, Annie, is, are you okay being in the same country as the rain spiders?
Oh, man. It needs to stay 2 time zones away.
Coming straight out of the sky.
We got home. We were gone all weekend to a volleyball tournament in Peoria, Illinois, and we got home, and in the basement, my kids picked up a blanket, wolf spider. On there.
Those guys are big too.
They got muscles,
Mhm.
and then it was pandemonium. Spider killed. Second blanket, another one.
No.
And I'm like, get out of the house.
We gotta move.
We bombed the house, and I said, we gotta burn it down or we gotta bomb it. And my husband's looking at me like with that look. Husbands, you might know. All right, she's crazy, but she's serious.
Yeah.
How do I want to approach this? Let's just do what she says and just get through the moment. But I need a pest control place that I can trust to get the spiders, because bombing the house is a very temporary solution. I know this. So send me your pest control recommendations. I would like to partner with somebody, but I am ready to pay you to come spray the inside, the outside, the upside, and the downside of my house 70 times. 7, which is what the Bible says.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly what it says. Yep, that number.
Wouldn't you think that if you were in San Francisco and this was happening, but it was Bible times, you would think it was a plague.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know where they're coming from? I mean, it's called ballooning, so I remember that word, but that's all I remember.
That's as much as I know. All I've seen is the TikTok videos of the people walking, and these tufts of webs fall on them, and they pick them up, and there's just tiny little baby spiders in them.
Isn't that what happens at the end of Charlotte's Web?
No.
Charlotte
No,
has
that's super cute.
I think
the
Charlotte
eggs
dies.
yeah, but she has eggs. The eggs hatch, and they all fly away except for one.
I didn't care.
Dang.
Does the pig eat them?
No, he makes a friend with the last one that doesn't fly away.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert.
Brad, you know a lot about this story.
I was a substitute teacher. They roll in the video
Yeah,
thing.
but it was like
and you
high
watch
school.
Charlotte's Web. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're reading Charlotte's Web to your high school.
Not reading, showing the TV show.
That's why he
I know
was
I'm
a
filling in for Mr. Peters for chemistry lab today,
But he gave
Brad
me Charlotte's Web.
In. We're gonna read Green Eggs and Ham
He's
today.
some pig.
If you were in high school and the substitute teacher came in to read you Charlotte's Web, would that not be great?
It'd be amazing.
I don't know. I don't know.
Brad's here, Cat in the Hat.
What
Let's go.
No, Charlotte's Web. If there is nothing you would rather do in high school to like legit class than a substitute that would read Charlotte's Web to you.
Because it's Charlotte's Web or because you don't have to do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the doing nothing part I would have been on board with. I would have made fun of that guy, though, a lot.
Well,
a lot.
I got a great opportunity for a pest control company who wants to work with me. So you need to DM the Annie Frey Show on Facebook and talk to me because let's go. Let's make it happen. I'll put you in contact with people, but first you need to just either bomb or burn my house down.
And also, I need a plastic surgeon because the ballooning part reminds me of when I had my calf implants and I had to deal with that. They got super big. Now they're just back to normal, and they're just normal.
Yeah, but they filled them with helium, so now thigh implants, and it is awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward. My pants did not fit. I wore shorts for like 2 years.
Because of the calf
Because of the ballooning of the calf implants.
of the surgery.
I can feel that. Like, it's so painful to think about.
All right.
Yeah, don't go to somebody on the street. I need somebody legit.
Lesson learned.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will get the results. Your thoughts and ours on the YouTube live chat poll. Who do you support for Speaker of the House? Scalise, Jordan, neither of them, or either of them? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live right there. When you open the live broadcast for today in the live chat, go vote in the poll. We'll be right back.
Hope I don't bugbear.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
WindowWorld.com if you're looking for windows. If you're thinking about replacing a drafty window or windows, make sure you reach out to my friends at Window World. They are working very hard to make the process of replacing those windows economically doable for you, because sometimes you know that you got to replace this one and this one, but you're going to go through and replace all 4, maybe all 8, whatever it might be. They are going to walk you through the process of how they're going to help you. They can give you a free in-home estimate when you call 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. And they can offer you 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Reach out to Window World at 314-993-1800. Mention that you heard about this on the Annie Frey Show, and they're going to get you set up so that you feel comfortable with the purchase, that you trust the purchase. They offer you a lifetime warranty covering all parts, glass breakage, and labor to make sure that you can feel confident in your purchase there with the Window World window replacements. Many St. Louisans have been very satisfied working with Window World. Why don't you give them a chance to earn your business as well? 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Mark Cox here. Before you sell your home, you should know the facts. What's your home's true value? Which realtor will get you the most money? And as a seller, is the market still in your favor? I spent some time with my friend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's what she told me. The market is still in the seller's favor. However, these next few months before the holidays represent the last prime time to sell your home. Gloria said everyone knows you can't time the real estate market. However, you can sell your home in the months that are statistically the most profitable to sell real estate. For the past 20 years, Gloria's been successfully selling homes in our area. How's she been so successful? She already has the buyers, which allows her to guarantee to sell your home at your pre-agreed upon price and time frame, or she'll buy it. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Operation Food Search knows it can be hard to find ways to help others, even when you want to. That's why they make it easy to join the mission to fight hunger. From volunteer opportunities for the whole family to convenient ways to donate food and money. Every dollar you give provides $10 to feed local children and families. Learn more and spread the word at operationfoodsearch.org. Join the mission to provide food today and help create a hunger-free tomorrow.
Do you feel strongly about who should be the next House Speaker? Do you think it should be Scalise? Do you think it should be Jim Jordan? Do you care? Either one of them? Or do you say neither of them? That's the poll today. It's the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. You got time to get in your vote before we reveal the results here in just a couple minutes. It is 2:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Rabbi Chaim Landa.
This has been such difficulty. It's real. It's raw. It is absolutely horrific.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
It can't be bought, and it can't be sold. I got love enough to spare. That makes me a millionaire. I got a woman with eyes that shine down deep.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful you're here with us today. We haven't talked much about the Speaker of the House situation going on. Yesterday, they said they had a closed-door meeting. I think the vote was 113 votes for Scalise in a secret ballot, 99 votes for Jordan, 8 voted present. And it hasn't been brought to the House floor yet to be taken up for a vote, which means they don't have the votes yet to actually get through the process. Matt Gaetz spoke on the
What's
issue.
your reaction now that Scalise has the vote, Speaker-elect?
Right, Matt.
I'm excited for him. Can't wait to go vote for Steve Scalise. Absolutely. Long live Speaker Scalise.
Do you think he has the votes on the floor? He was divided vote in there.
I sure hope so. We'll see some democracy in action.
So that was, when was that taken? What was that clip from, last night?
I believe it was last night.
So they still haven't gotten to actually getting the business done. And I would assume the second that they know that they have a consensus, they are going to get that taken care of. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, who do you support for Speaker? Scalise, Jordan, neither, or either? What do you think, Ryan? What's your choice?
I strongly believe in either of them. Is that what you were going to say too, Brad?
Yeah, that's what I was
thought
gonna say.
so. I really do, because I feel like at this point, all of the rules and things they're going to put in place to get that speaker, whoever it is, are going to be key to, I mean, McCarthy included. I thought all the things they did ahead of time of getting him there were why I supported him as speaker. And the same situation is going to be this. So I really support either one of them.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset. I think that they're both good candidates for speaker. I think they'd both be good candidates or be great speakers of the House. My thing is this. Yeah, I do have a preference of one, but I don't prefer one so much over the other that I'm not going to vote for the other guy. Like, there's not enough separation for me in there. This is like saying, would you rather have Adam Wainwright or Chris Carpenter prime, Adam Wainwright prime, Chris Carpenter start in this game? Like, I think I'd rather go Chris Carpenter.
I really wish we could pick two current starters.
Yeah.
For that
Me
analogy, I wish we didn't have to go back to the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Anyhow, go on.
But, it's like, oh, well, we're giving the ball to Adam Wainwright. I'm like, sweet. That's kind of how I feel about this. I prefer Jim Jordan to Steve Scalise, but it's like 1A and 1B. There's not much separation between the two for me. I think they both would do an excellent job. So I am emphatically either.
So Fox News is reporting right now, our friend Chad Pergram reporting and trying to, as he always says, he should have a shirt on under his blazer. It's about the math. Because it is. According to one Republican representative, I don't think he's going to get it. He came in so low. So Scalise is looking like he's not a possibility, that he's not going to be able to whip the votes to get this done. Senior House leadership sources were utterly shocked and dismayed Wednesday night at the resistance by rank-and-file Republicans to potentially electing Scalise as Speaker after he won the GOP conference nod behind closed doors on a secret ballot. Scalise continues to work individually with Republicans to gain their support, but there is a long way to go. In fact, the fight could take days. However, things do have a way of coming together quickly on Capitol Hill, and there still could be a floor vote on Thursday. Fox News was told it was believed that Scalise could command as many as 150 ballots, and the endorsement after the vote by House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan apparently did very little. In fact, Jordan's effect in boosting Scalise was so paltry that it underscored two things. Jordan has very little juice, and overall there is very little excitement among House Republicans for either Scalise or Jordan. Getting annoyed. I'm getting very annoyed with this process.
I'm a little surprised that they didn't have a little bit. I shouldn't be. I mean, this has been pretty haphazard. But I am a little bit surprised that they didn't have a more of a plan going into picking one of these guys. Because it just seems like they would have said, here are the criteria, either similar or a little bit of changes to what they did with McCarthy. Which one of you is going to match this the best? I thought they would have had that already in order.
Are you guys watching the Nancy Mace Scarlet Letter shirt?
Yeah, a little bit.
I can't handle her. I'm going to tell you what. I like Nancy Mace. I don't care that she wasn't like the most conservative person in the Republican House, because I am politically aware that my version of conservatism does not have to be replicated in every one of the 435 districts that exist in this country. We have to be smarter than that and understand that there's going to be a spectrum of conservatism that's represented, and we need every single one. Like, do you want a Mitt Romney in the Utah Senate seat or a Democrat? You still want a Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Do you want a Joe Manchin in that Senate seat or a Republican? You want a Republican. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is. We just out slap fight Republican each other all of the time. And so, Nancy Mace isn't conservative enough. Here's what I don't want you to do. Don't come out talking about why any of this has to do with the fact that you're a woman. That is obnoxious. And then, like, the Scarlet Letter thing, it's just like, I don't have time for this right now.
So she was wearing a red A on a white shirt.
White shirt, yeah.
In saying, why I am now cast aside because I'm a woman who has a mind of her own. That was pretty much it, right?
Well, let's listen to Nancy Mace.
If the vote for Speaker were today, would you vote for Steve Scalise?
I would not. I plan on voting for Jim Jordan on the floor. I've been very vocal about this over the last couple of days. I personally cannot, in good conscience, vote for someone who attended a white supremacist conference and compared himself to David Duke. I would be doing an enormous disservice to the voters that I represent in South Carolina if I were to do that.
What?
This just in. Steve Scalise is accused of white supremacists.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, something's up with her. She's spiraling.
I'm being honest, and I played this on the air, and I think I criticized it then. Nancy Mace is not really my kind of representative, since she said at the prayer breakfast that her fiance was pawing at her before she had to, and she said, no, there's time for that later.
I got to go to the prayer breakfast.
Yikes. I don't care. Just get your acts together and do something. You don't all have to be in perfect alignment and agreement with one another, but you have to get it together. And Matt Gaetz, get it together. You started this, end it, finish it, lead or something. Who do you support for speaker? The YouTube live chat poll for today. 10% of you say only Scalise. 12% of you said neither of them. 33% say only Jordan, and 46% either of them. And I will add this, just get it done. It's a distraction. Get done the business of the people and stop it. That's kind of what happens in my house when I've had enough. But I'm talking about, like, stop putting your peanut butter on the wall.
Is that when your husband looks at you and goes, okay, she's in one of those moods. I'm just going to do whatever she needs
he's way too
here.
smart to say that out loud. But he's thinking it.
But he does it.
He's thinking it. Mark Reardon, up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. You know that whole thing about getting a new House Speaker? Well, that's on hold again. We'll explain coming up here after Fox News Plus, the latest on Israel.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Wouldn't your kids love to take a trip to the North Pole to see Santa? Goodwill and the St. Louis Union Station have partnered to give you a chance to win a magical holiday staycation for 4 that includes all the fun at St. Louis Union Station, plus a first-class ride on the Polar Express. Drop off a donation of clothing or other items to your local Goodwill and get a secret entry code, plus 20% off St. Louis Union Station attractions. For more information about this magical staycation, visit mersgoodwill.org.
If you are looking around at everything going on in the world today and you know that you're right there on the doorstep of retirement, you want to make sure that you are going to be able to enter into retirement the way that you hoped for, have saved for, I need you to call the Retirement Advisory Group, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. When you work with the Retirement Advisory Group, you're going to be paired with Thomas Helbig, with Bob Kershaw, with Tammy Kershaw. They are going to walk you through where you are right now and how you can make sure that you get to where you want to be. This is a very, very key thing to making sure that the worry-free retirement that you've always dreamt about is actually in reach. So if you're in your super late 50s, if you're in your 60s, your mid-60s, and maybe in some cases you've even retired already, you can call them and set up a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Reach out to the Retirement Advisory Group. You can find them online right now at retirementkey.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered